What's up, guys? Edrone here. Hope you guys can see me because something's having issues with the StreamYard. It's showing me that there's no one watching, but I know that's not true because we got Technique FPV in the house. Drone shot, Steve. What's up? Mr. Crowley and his drone. Dizzy Dean FPV, the Anxious Bagel. We got drone shots. What's up? Forevermore in the house. Double A. Good to see you guys in the house tonight. We got our special guest, Dr. Quads. We got my man, Steve-O. Maddie's Drone World. What's up? Good to see you, Maddie. And Free Range Chicken FPV and One Vision Aerial as well. Welcome in, guys. We also have Chrismel FPV. Welcome in. Good to see you. I'm hoping you guys can see me and hear me. Yes, hopefully. Okay. No, we can't see. Yeah, so I'm just going to say it's probably the StreamYard just have a bug or whatever. Anyway, guys, if I sound a little bit funny, I'm just getting over some sinus issues, so bear with me. But awesome, man. Thanks for the feedback. Really appreciate that. Really appreciate that. And thank you so much for coming in and hanging out with us tonight. We have an awesome live stream. You're not going to want to miss out. So without further ado, let me go ahead and welcome in our special guest of the night, Dr. Quads. There he is, the one, the only Dr. Quads. Welcome on the show, my friend.
That was awesome, man. I like that little intro. Thank you.
Man, that was all you. I love the shots there, and I put them together with a little bit of my copyright-free music there, and it came together very nicely. So, yes.
Yeah, exactly. Well, thanks for having me, and hopefully I won't, fall all over myself in this light. Why is it that right before the stream starts, every time my mouth just gets super dry, and it's like chugging water?
Yes, the dry heaving, you just got to just drink and drink and drink. Yep, yeah. I always get the pre-stream nerves as well. But, by the time we get talking and settle down, you'll forget you're even live sometimes. You know what I mean?
That's right.
Just two guys who love FPV hanging out. We got an awesome group in the house tonight to hang out with us.
All right.
So I couldn't be more excited to have you on.
Oh, and just real quick, just to kind of signify the audience too, there's a huge, like a 30-second delay probably between us. So sorry if I cut you off, just, and the same. It's going to be kind of difficult a little bit to keep the flow. Speaking
of delays, man, you're from the future, right? Because what time is it now where you are now?
It is 2027 and AI is ruling the globe, so it's fine. They're everyone is so scared about being Skynet, but it's more just like a Big Brother kind of situation.
You're what, 8 a.m. on Monday right now?
Yeah, it's 8:13 right now on Monday. Yeah, I know
wow.
What day it is.
Welcome from the future. So happy to have you from the future. It is still 8 p.m. on Sunday night here on the East Coast. So I always think that's fascinating.
Your backdrop there, is that a pegboard? Oh man, I need to get one of those. As you can see.
Yeah, pegboard is the way to go, and then wrap it with some LEDs and just cover it with slaps.
And are those all 5-inch racing drones or freestyle?
Those are all, well, the top 4 are my 5-inch freestyle drones, and then I have some other 5-inch, 3-inch, and some whoops and
yeah, that's awesome. Here's a question right out the gate, and as someone who also has probably more drones than I need, do you find it difficult to fly them all, or are you trying to rotate, or do you just fly one and that's all you fly these days?
Well, I used to always bring 4 when I would go out. And then for some reason, when I would bring 4, I would always end up coming home with none that work, or maybe one that would work. So then I said, maybe 4 is not my good number. So now I just take out 3.
Yeah.
And usually I come back with either 2 or 3 working.
Jeez, that would be too painful for me. I built 5 inches, 8 inches. I built all the different kinds of drones I could think of. But lately, maybe it's just my lifestyle or what's going on. But I find I just fly 3-inch. That's all I ever fly anymore. So it's kind of why I'm designing most of the 3-inch drones. Yeah.
Excellent.
It's really tough to fly 5 inches here in an interesting setting because there's only really one place to easily get to that we can fly a 5-inch, but everything else is like a park environment. So you don't
lots of people.
Yeah. But I've really got drawn to flying indoors more than outdoors lately, just because it's easier to get that interesting angle on something, right? For me, I'm mostly flying for filmmaking, so 5-inch, you've got to really not just be skilled as a pilot, but also find that line to keep things interesting, and it's pretty tough. It's a lot easier just to get inside a mall or something and just fly around. No one's ever seen this before, kind of thing, right? Yeah.
Yeah. And speaking of coming out with multiple quads, I'm really happy that I brought my 3 today because I went out and flew today with some of my local homies, including Windchill. What's up, man? Good to see you, brother. Had an awesome meetup today with Bot Grinder, Vampire, the whole crew, man. Shaky FPV, Windchill, and met some new guys as well. And so I hadn't crashed all day. I was having a great day, hitting all kinds of nice lines and gaps, right? So I go and I have my first crash of the day, which is really rare, by the way. I usually crash a lot more. Yeah. And the one crash, I landed right in a mud puddle, man. Just drone completely covered in mud.
Yeah. Oh, man. Yeah.
So I was like, well, I'm going to go ahead and hang that one up to dry and break out my other one.
Yeah. I mean, is it okay, though?
Yeah, it's fine. I'll rinse it out with water and, I'll spray it with some good old electronics cleaner and let it dry out for like a week and she'll be good to go.
Yeah. I mean, do you conformal coating your drone or?
No, I don't. I used to conformal coat, but I haven't been doing it as much as I used to out of just pure laziness.
It's also so annoying to repair.
I know it is.
Coating on it, yeah. So I don't do it anymore either.
I know. Welcome in, Hybrid Robotics. Good to see you. And King Keek up in the house. Good to see you as well. I know, man. You got to come over this way, man. The invite's always here for you, Maddie. You know that. I'd love to have you come out and rip with us, man. Absolutely. You'd have a blast. Yeah, so the quad was fine. It did reset a couple times, like the beta flight boot up menu. It reset a couple times, but then I unplugged it and I went to go boot it back up a little bit later when it was dried up just to see, and it powered up. So I think it'll be okay.
I always find that when I go hang out with friends, like I push myself to do stupider tricks and more risky stuff than when I fly alone. Get that
absolutely
kind of, goading going on. Yeah.
I have a banner here just for you. Welcome, Dr. Quads. What do you think about that?
I appreciate that.
Excellent, man. Well, the first question I like to ask all my special guests is, on the sticks, when you're flying FPV, are you a pincher, thumber, or a hybrid?
Not only am I a pincher, because that's the only way to do it, both in the bedroom and on the sticks, but I'm sorry. But also I actually fly mode 3. Mode 3, left hand.
All right. Very interesting. Mode 3.
Right hand throttle. Yeah. I know.
Excellent.
I do.
I'm not sure if we have any mode 3 pilots around here, but yeah, I have not heard mode 3 in some time.
Yeah. I got it's a real quick recap. I got the DJI FPV, crashed within 30 seconds of flying it, devastated. I took it out to fly the park, right? And my wife took the kids out. And so I'm going to go fly and she's going to go take the kids. And I walk up to my wife with a backpack full of broken DJI parts. And she's like, "Oh, how did it go? How did it go?" But I want to talk about it. Let's just go home. Let's just go home. But after that, I was like, well, I know I need to figure this out. I need to figure out what I'm doing here. Otherwise, I can't afford to keep crashing the stuff. So I went to the simulator, and I realized partly what was causing the issue was that flying mode 2 just wasn't working. So I was in Dubai on liftoff, and I switched to mode 3, and it was just it clicked. It just clicked immediately. And so after that, the rest is history.
That's great, man. And you got to go with what works for you, right? And that's why I love FPV, because there's so many different options for every one of us.
Hmm.
Uh-oh. We lost him for a minute. He took a drink and then we lost him for a minute, so hopefully he'll be back.
Tis the
He's coming
nature
back.
of the beast. I'm back.
There we go. He's back.
I'm sorry about that, guys. But I think Mode 3 is closest to GTA 5, which I think is why I stuck to it. I played GTA 5 a lot. Like when they introduced FPV to GTA 5, I would fly the helicopters, and all my teammates were like, "Oh, don't fly don't fly FPV because you can't see where you're landing. You're gonna be slower." But I was like, "No, I'm doing it." I got pretty good at flying the helicopters in FPV, and I think that's why there was so much already there, like the pathways of muscle memory or something, right? If you think about your mouse moving up and down is like looking up and down, right? So yeah,
that makes sense.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we're glad to have you over at the stream. Thank you so much for hanging out with us, Hybrid Robotics. Just got into drones and thinks they're awesome and wants to build one. That's fantastic.
Oh, Hybrid Robotics. Hey, what's up, bro? Yeah, sorry. He's from the Polymaker Discord. He's really, really good at
That's awesome.
3D printing. Yeah, by the way, guys, if you have any 3D printing like questions or something like that, go over to the Polymaker Discord. They have a FPV section specifically, and it's awesome. I couldn't survive without it. Like I'm constantly bugging them about stuff. Yeah.
Welcome in, Low KV Girl. Love that name, by the way. That's awesome. Oh, that's your wife. Oh, awesome. I love the name. That's so cool.
Yeah. She likes
anything to do with drones, and I'm gonna love it.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh. Babe, hey, would you go get the little tiny guys? I forgot about those. Yeah.
Sorry, so I really the intro that I used, I really was fascinated by the slow-mo with all the confetti, and then what do they call those suits they wear?
It's a lion.
Yeah, the lions.
Yeah.
That was really something. Now, what did you use to film that?
I actually used this right here. And actually the day of, it was like 2 weeks ago, I think. The day of, I was actually planning on selling this because I can't believe I'm the only one that's freaking like upset about this. If you have multiple drones, such as like my little Shuriken build here that I use for my naked GoPro, and this is a Runcam Link, and this is the DJI Aero 3. When you switch between them, you have to rebind them every time. Now, because I've been using these like shell designs and stuff, it's not really easy to press that bind button all the time. Now, I've made this one easy because I had to, but it's an epic pain in the arse if you're out on a job and you got to like, oh, I want to use my GoPro 8 or, oh, I want to use the O3. You can't just do that easily. Oh, what a terrible design. But so I was like, no, I can't do this anymore. And I think I just got done building my custom GoPro 8, which, by the way, I think this thing's going to take off. This actually has audio. A naked GoPro with audio, and it's got the front plate on, so it doesn't overheat. I could use this as a regular GoPro if I slap a battery onto it. I don't have to worry about it overheating. I could put it on my head or something like that.
Excellent.
So I was like, this is really nice. I like this. I'm going to use this from now on. But then I went to the shoot, and it was just the thing about this drone that I like the most about it is it's super stable. It can handle a little bit of wind also, which that one, you start to see it in the footage. But this is so quiet. That's probably the biggest reason why I'll keep this, and I decided not to sell it. Is how quiet this is, because this is just, it's a huge factor when you're out on like a professional shoot. And if people, their perception of your drone and usually it's a first impression, and it's very important because who cares about the laws at the end of the day, especially here where everything's kind of gray. Like don't make people like not like your drone or not like you, and then you could do pretty much whatever you want. You could fly them all, nothing, no problem at all, right? But if the second someone's like, oh, you're flying a death machine, or oh, that's so loud and that's annoying, that's it. You better pack it up. You go home, And
for people who might not know in the audience, where exactly is here for you?
Oh, I'm in China.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So Dr. Quaz is all the way over in China, guys, if you didn't know.
Yeah.
Hey, welcome in, Michael's Drones and RCs. Good to see you, brother. Thanks so much for stopping in. Appreciate you. And Technique FPV, welcome in, my friend. Thank you so much for hanging out with us tonight. So the drone that you were just showing, that you used to do the slow-mo with the lions and the confetti, let's talk about that now. Where did you get that? Where did you come up with that? So that everybody knows.
I built this in Blender, actually. Here, let me turn on this light. Hey, babe, would you give me a battery? want to show you. I built this in Blender.
So this is actually a drone that you designed yourself.
Yeah. Every vertice, every start to finish, every square inch. Yeah, just the carbon fiber plate. It's actually, shout out to Maker Tales if he ever sees this video. So Maker Tales is the guy that has been making a lot of parametric stuff in Blender. Parametric meaning that you can use numbers to adjust the geometry, which is something like Fusion 360, like CAD software. That's what that's all about. Constraint, what is it? Geez, what does CAD stand for? Constraint driven design. But so like he made CAD Sketcher in Blender and also a bunch of other things that like these tools that you can use. And with that, I've been able to design so fast, faster than CAD, because Blender is a polygon-based design software. So you can kind of manipulate things just with like clicking, whereas CAD is all about number. Everything has to be proper mathematically, right? Whereas Blender and CAD Sketcher is kind of a hybrid design principle that I found it to be extremely amazing. Like my newest design, the one that you're going to show later, I built that in like 3 days. I designed that. Obviously, I'm getting better, right? But this was kind of like a lightning strike moment where I looked at the Avata and I was like, well, what makes the Avata so popular? Because a lot of people were saying my other drone, oh, just get the Avata. I'm like, well, okay, I need to compete with the Avata. I need to compete with this kind of level of production and product. So I started looking at it. I thought the biggest thing that I see about the Avata that really makes it a premium product, or let's say even a consumer product, is the way the battery operates on it. Because I look at all these really cool drones and this thing's great, but like the battery sits on top and you strap it in and it's no good. So my original idea, I had to like have a battery kind of click in like DJI. I ended up going back with the strap because it's really tough to beat the benefits of a strap without precision injection molding. It's really hard to beat that. Otherwise it's gonna be crappy. So I did go with the strap. But
it leaves it open to a lot more choices as well for the user.
Babe, this is the wrong battery.
My friend, I am just getting over the tail end of a sinus infection, man. So, bear with me, guys. If I sound a little weird, that's why. So,
it's fine.
Oh, say hi. Is that your wife?
Oh yeah.
Have her come say hi. Hi.
But and by the way, as far as the cold thing, I'll claim that as well. It's not just that I have an annoying voice. I also am getting over a cold. So, yeah.
I have really bad allergies right when our season starts changing here and when we get our first blooms. Yeah. And we just got our first blooms and I've been working outside a lot and it finally got to me and I took my medicine too late. So now I'm just paying for that. But I'm feeling better. I'm feeling better and I think I'm on the tail end of it. Yes, good idea. Take a drink.
So, and just to kind of close this out real quick, the battery slots into the bottom here, which I think was just the design principle of like how to make it premium feeling. And then it slots on here and then it goes in and you just kind of strap it up over the top.
Nice.
But what I found is, and partly my first design, is like the center of gravity for these drones is so important. Because if you can get the center of gravity pretty much in the middle of the line of the 4 propellers, right? So on the Z-axis, right? And then on the X and the Y-axis, if you get that pretty much spot on or really close, the drone, no matter how fast you're going or what orientation you are, is going to operate the same. And that makes it really easy on the PID. And I've just found this drone flies so much better. And a lot of people said, oh my gosh, this thing is 400 grams. So that's really heavy. That's a really Avata heavy. So surely it's not going to be able to perform well. But actually, I found quite the opposite. And I guess because it's not like top heavy and it's not having to fight that inertia, right, as it's moving around. It not only that it flies well, it also has like a 6 to 7 minute battery life for a 3-inch whoop, which is pretty good for a heavier whoop, right? So, but this thing can do building dives and stuff like that.
Okay, so, that's what I kind of wanted to talk about next. Let's talk about some of the things. Why someone would want to, go that route and purchase what you've got there over the Avata, because you've got some, you do have some similarities, but you also have some differences as well.
I'd say the biggest difference is performance. You're going to sacrifice some things, like simply put, and I I've ranted about DJI a lot on my channel, but I do got to give credit to the devil, right? And was that to give the devil his due? That's the one. And that's it. You know, they really have just fantastic consumer design. You cannot beat that. Not to mention the features of position hold and everything kind of coming together to this homogenous experience where a consumer, and that's been the biggest barrier for entry, because I get a lot of people talking to me on my Chinese TikTok. These are people that don't fly FPV, see my drone, say, wow, that's pretty cool. They see that commercial, wow, that's pretty cool. I want to try that. But then I start explaining to them some of the steps that they need to do to fly it, and they're like, oh, yeah, never mind about that. So that's one of the biggest hurdles for FPV, is kind of making a homogenous, unified experience for new people. And position hold, I believe, is the key that must exist if we want to start pulling in a bigger audience, because most people want to at least have the option. It may seem small to us, but it's big to them, to just be like, hold on a second, I need to take a break, and have their drone not just fall down and die. You know, they just stay there and hold, right? And so I think that's the biggest one. But as far as the similarities, yeah, I've tried to make it in the same spirit of really great drone for a consumer that can fly in multiple different places. And it's not that I copied them so much, but that their design is so in line with what that is, that it's a great consumer drone that's small, that can fly anywhere kind of thing. And so they kind of end up being the same just because they're going to the same goal. But the performance is just, it's not even close. I mean, the Avata falls out of the air if you spin too fast. This thing can acro, can do building dives and stuff. So it's not quite as good as a 5-inch, right? Obviously, but it starts to, you know, blur the lines a little bit.
And this would be basically your beta version of that product? This is like your first original product?
I made this specifically for myself, because the original version has these two arms on it right here with LED headlights on it. And it's pretty fun. But, you know, for filmmaking, they're not useful, because those headlights are not going to illuminate the subject in such a way to where it would look good on film, right? So that's the headlight version. And they're actual headlights, and they're pretty bright. But
I really like where you put the, is that a micro USB or USB-C port there?
That's actually the old design. I'll show you here real quick. Let me turn this light back on. Ugh. The new design has them both back here. So the flight controller and the Aero 3, and it's a magnetic USB. So you just put the USB near it and boom, plops right in.
Oh, I got you. Like, yeah, we saw that in the intro I did. Yeah. I did for you.
Yeah, it just kind of snaps on. Yeah, and
that's really convenient.
Right there. Yeah. Oh, it's great, especially, you know, when you go out to the field and you're like, oh crap, did I remember to bring my SD cards? Oh no, you know, like that never happens. Oh crap, did I forget to turn off the GoPro before I unplugged the battery? Oh crap, did I forget to press record on the GoPro? Which happened to me when I was flying in a hot air balloon, threw my drone off the side, ready to capture some next level of life-changing footage, landed, get on the ground, and realized I didn't press record on the GoPro.
Oh, I know. So that's the worst, isn't it?
Thanks to the O3. Yeah.
Let's see here. Oh, somebody was wanting to know, for some reason your live streams haven't been showing up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, you know, it's just Google beating down the little man, you know. I don't know.
Yeah.
I hope.
Well, you still do your live streams, correct?
And by the way, guys, if you haven't subbed to edrones, then what are you doing here? Sub to him right now. It's good stuff. Because he's got.
I really appreciate.
At all.
I really appreciate the love, Dr. Quaz, and as well, if you're here and you haven't seen Dr. Quaz and this is your first time, make sure you check out in the video description the link to Dr. Quaz's channel as well. Got some awesome content on there, very entertaining. And he's got some very innovative designs that he has been sharing with the community. And I don't think you're going to want to miss out what he's got going on.
I appreciate that. I'll show you my first design, which is not good. I still haven't sold it, even at a loss. There you go. Look at that. I don't know what I was thinking.
Well, that's our perfect transition.
Yeah.
Because I actually wanted to start to talk about how you got started with FPV, Dr. Quads.
Well, it was. I saw the DJI FPV, like the commercial for it, and you know, it reminded me of GTA 5 when they came up with the FPV, and I'm like, wow, I remember flying helicopters. That's got to be cool. And so I just, you know, started thinking, and eventually I pulled the trigger, I bought it, and of course I told you, it, you know, crashed within the first 30 seconds. And the reason why it crashed, by the way, and I got really mad at them for this, because they, on the manual right? And this is back before I knew anything about FPV. Right? I'm a Mavic flyer, so I'm like the manual. Okay, so press this button to stop the drone. It's the oh crap button, right?
Yeah.
But on the actual controller, on the right-hand side, what does it say? Stop. Well, that isn't the stop button. And so I was so full of adrenaline when I switched it into manual mode. I'm like not thinking straight, right? And I pressed, I'm practicing my muscle memory of like, arresting the drone so I can kind of have that like routine in my brain, right? So I pressed the button, and then on the screen, I just read like halfway through my brain, press this button again, this whatever. I didn't read the rest of it because we got to press it again. Okay, I guess you got to press it twice. Well, that makes sense. Sure. Like, I don't want to stop the drone every time I accidentally press it, right? So I press it again. And it's just like, it was weird because like I just started spinning, and I'm like not really comprehending what's happening, but my drone is just spinning and falling. I'm like, well, and then it's, I mumbled myself into, and I heard this noise of just this smack on pavement. And that was my drone. That was it. Yeah, so I went and I saw it on the ground in pieces, and I picked it up and put it together. The reason why I actually bought the DJI FPV was because the batteries. I kind of looked into DIY FPV, and I'm like, I do not want to burn my house down. It was the lipo batteries that scared me the most. But after that experience, I was like, if I'm going to be able to afford, and I bought the DJI Care, and then I, thought it was going to be quick to repair, but they ended up charging me like 1,300 RMB just for to repair it. Or they're like, we could charge you 1,300 RMB to get a new drone, or you can pay 700 RMB for us to repair it. Why did I spend all this money on the DJI Care? Anyway, so yeah, that's I was like, no, I need to like figure out how to build this stuff myself, or I can't afford it. But the funny thing is, though, is since I've been doing FPV and building it myself, I've crashed from like 100 meters up, landed in grass, but drone was fine. And that's when I was like, oh my God, DJI sucks. Like, what is this? These drones are so robust compared to DJI. But I've not broken any drones. I don't think I've ever cracked even a carbon fiber plate. Maybe I'm not pushing hard enough. Yeah, maybe I'm not pushing hard enough.
That's great. That's definitely a good thing. If you haven't broken anything so far, then I'd say you're ahead.
Yeah, I start to feel like people are going to say I don't push it hard enough, and they might be right. I'm not so interested in freestyle.
That's okay. I've seen you have more of a cinematic flavor, which I actually like. It's nice to see different flavors out there. Hey, sweetheart, thank you so much for stopping in, Rebecca Adams. I love you. That's my beautiful fiance.
Oh, nice.
And Michael Blade FPV has come in to hang out as well. Good to see you, Michael Blade. And this is another reason why I said in the very beginning, when the DJI FPV drone, was all the leaks were coming through, and it got such an uproar in the community. A lot of people had very negative thoughts about it. I thought to myself, yes, there is going to be some negative things that come about it. However, I just don't see anything negative about bringing more people that typically wouldn't have come into FPV, but that will come into FPV now because of that drone. And that is going to lead the way for them to, the ones that really, truly want to get into it are going to push the boundaries of that drone. And they're going to say, I need more. I need to build my own. I need to do something more. Think about all the awesome pilots out here that have come into our hobby because of the DJI FPV drone. You have yourself. You got Murders FPV. Awesome pilot as well. Started out on the DJI FPV drone. And there's countless others. So, I have to say that I am a fan of the DJI FPV drone and the fact that it brings more people into our hobby.
Yeah, and Murders FPV was the guy who made the video about the Avata. And that was kind of the video that really kicked my channel off, was attacking the Avata. But, I've gained a lot of respect for Murders and Kebab and pilots like this, and also designers, because, when we had a dispute, let's say, our way of dealing with it and his way of dealing with it was come talk to me. We talked in the chat a little bit, and we ended up finding a lot of common ground. And I think that's really important. And I would say that's one of my faults, is that I've lived in such a bubble for such a long time, and a lot of my interactions have been negative. But every now and then you find someone that even if you disagree with them, you can agree and you can have respect for each other. So I really got to give a shout out to Murders, Like, it definitely could have been conceived by him that I came at him, right? And he could have definitely responded in a way like iFlight responded to me, right? In a really, really unprofessional, I wouldn't even say unprofessional, just a really like negative way that doesn't lead anywhere good at all. Sure, if we have an argument and we both disagree and we're fighting even kind of aggressively, there still can be benefit and value in that. If we're both kind of genuinely trying to have a point and we're also kind of willing to listen to the other person, the Socratic method, right? And so I got to give a shout out to Murders for that, because he did that. And so now, he comes to my channel every now and then and leaves comments, and usually they're very high value comments, because the dude knows what he's talking about. I've seen his channel. Yeah.
And that's awesome when you can agree to disagree, and you have like down to earth people that will straight up tell you like, hey man, this is some of the things that I don't agree with, but it doesn't mean that we can't agree to disagree, and, let bygones be bygones and move forward.
Or, find other places where we can agree, and maybe what we agree on is more than what we disagree on. And so maybe our first interaction is things that we disagree on, but hey, give it a little bit of a chance. I don't feel like it's like everyone needs to be super nice, and I'm not really that kind of person. Like you said to me before the stream started, no filtering, say what you want to say. And I'm that same way. If someone has a problem with me, say it. I do think there needs to be a little bit of wisdom in giving it a chance, giving it your due diligence of saying like, maybe this person, we agree on something. Let's find that out. And so there's a couple of my subscribers that from that DJI Avata video came at me right in the comments, and I kind of gave it back to them. But then through going back and forth, we ended up starting to find common ground. And of course now I think Marco Reviews is one of the ones that watches like all my videos now. And me and him, when we first started talking to each other, it was not pleasant, Yeah.
Yeah. So let's talk about, if you'd like to talk about the new version of you said you're going to keep the name the same, the Mecha Roach?
No, it's a Sea King. Yeah, the names, you guys like, I don't know. It's a Sea King.
This one here?
Yeah. Or Poseidon. That's cooler. Oh yeah, the Poseidon.
This thing looks like a crab. It reminds me of like a dragon, or something of like a type of creature. I really like it.
Okay. I might have to do like a poll or something to find the name out, but it's drone number 3, 4, or 5, something drone. That's the next drone. Yeah.
Yeah, I like this. I like to see something different.
Is because it carries a naked GoPro. So this is basically the bigger brother to the Mecha Roach. Okay.
So this is going to be a little bit bigger than the Mecha Roach.
Here, here's what this drone actually was all about. Let me switch over. Where is my OBS? I'll switch to this cam here. Oops, box. Okay.
Oh, there you go.
This is the Dr. Quad's motor. Oh, let me focus. Oh, I'm not take a picture. There we go. Yeah, so this is the Dr. Quad's motor, and me and Brother Hobby made this. It's a 2205, mostly for 6S, though it can be used for 4S as well. So this is a little bit of a bigger motor than what I use in the Mecha Roach. But so this is basically the 6S version of the Mecha Roach. It's going to be 3.5 inch, not 3 inch. And the reason why the front is empty there is because it's supposed to carry a naked GoPro, or even a full-size GoPro. But I would recommend a naked GoPro.
Can you show that Mecha Roach again you have there? I really like that paint scheme on that.
Oh yeah,
it's almost like a rustic, like metallic, almost looks like a futuristic, apocalyptic. Yeah, it just has a really cool look to it.
Everything I make, it turns dystopian. I can't. I'm not.
That is so cool looking, though. I love the look of that. Yeah, it's like futuristic, yet it just has that little bit of like rustic appeal.
Yeah. Oh, here, I'll show you this other cap here. I really like this one. This one's called the Terminator.
Yes, that's exactly what it reminds me of.
Yeah, the kind of Terminator vibe, the 80s, slightly rusted, chromy kind of look. Yeah, I used to make all my drones like pink and blue. I call it the anti-Karen design, because if your drone is pink and blue and super gay looking, then people will look at it as a toy. Oh, look at that little toy flying around. But if it's really black and aggressive, they're gonna be like, oh, like that thing's gonna kill everyone in the room. Now, I couldn't help myself to make this thing look kind of badass, because it looks badass. But yeah, I got the purple here. A little bit of purple, a little bit of pink and purple helps a lot.
You used to keep this.
Oh yeah, it used to be here. I'll show you the old color scheme.
As long as it doesn't look like a giant alligator with giant teeth coming out of it.
Yeah. But I've really found that, here's like one of the first little mods I did. It's not necessarily my design, but I modded this a lot. And it's super ugly. But what I found at the time, because I was flying iFlight stuff, like iFlight ProTech 25. And when I built this, and I thought, this is the dumbest quad ever, let's fly it. And it turned out to be the best flying quad I had by far. And so that's when I realized center of gravity is a big thing because there's a battery. It's on the bottom. And so a lot of people come at me and say, oh, why don't you make a pusher drone? Let me just show you real quick why you don't make a pusher drone. Let me back this out a bit. Yeah. Okay, so people, I know that there's some things about like airflow and the arms, and yes, that matters. But if you look a lot at what Chris Rosser says and other people, it lines up that it actually doesn't make as big of a difference as you think it would because of how powerful these motors are. These things are very powerful. And so the little bit of airflow blocking is not going to make a big enough impact to really, let's say, like, this is definitively, this is better, right? So it's not going to make a huge impact. What is going to make a huge impact by being a pusher or a puller is how you're able to balance the center of gravity. So if I make this a pusher, most of my electronics are going to be on the top, right? And where's my battery going to be at? It's going to be tough to put the battery in the bottom because now the battery is right in the line of the props, unless you do the design like I did here, where you kind of open it up. I don't know if it, this is common, but just it's kind of opened up in the middle. But most people don't do that. So you have to have the battery in the top then. And if you look here, because of the length of the motors, your center of gravity is already really low. So if you put the battery on top, that's really high away from it. Now, if you do it like this, though, and the plate is closer to the line of the props, your center of gravity is not going to be so far off. You put the battery up here. Plus, you have the weight of everything down here. So it's much better, in my opinion, to not do pusher style unless you're designing specifically for that or you don't really have a choice. I think the whole gimmick of people saying pusher gets better thrust and yada, 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 I've not ever found that to be something that's significant enough to overcome the downsides of a bad center of gravity, let's say. So that's why pretty much all my drones I design are not going to be pushers. It's really tough to get a good center of gravity. But what I found is that a center of gravity will give you a better flight experience than pretty much any other benefits you can get.
That makes a lot of sense as well. Welcome, Slopped It. Good to see you, brother. And we're going to do open Q&A towards the end of the stream for Dr. Quads, myself, and the chat as well. We will get to Maddie's question real quick. That way it doesn't get forgot about. But we will hold all other questions till the end of the stream. And we'll definitely do open Q&A towards the end. But he has one question on his ProTech 35 with 8-bladed props. Should the props in or props be out for better performance?
I've not seen any difference between the two. I'm not the expert on that, mind you. I am just parroting a lot of this information from people that I respect. However, I would say that I just got done flying on a mountain the other day with my 5-inch, and I could not dive this dang mountain. I thought something was wrong with my drone, and I ended up going to the Discord, and I was like, hey, what's going on, guys? And it turns out that props out can sail. It's a problem called sailing, where you get an updraft, and it will cause your drone just to kind of sail. So I went to dive the mountain, and it just kind of sailed out. It wouldn't like dive. And so apparently, this is from people that I respect, so I'm sure they know what they're talking about, that it props out can cause that to happen more than props in. But that's like the only other real like significant difference that I can think of, other than just you prefer for grass not flying into your stack or to your camera, right?
Yeah, there's a preference of whether you want the grass or whatever debris you carry from your prop to go into your stack or to go on your camera lens. And as well as, I tend to like to fly props reversed because I like when I bump into things, I feel like with the props out, it kind of pushes me back away from things versus with props in, it kind of pulls you in. Yeah. So for freestyle anyway, that's what I like to do. I fly all my quads props out. And that's the main reason for me, is just I feel like I've been able to get my quad unstuck out of places, props out a little bit easier.
Yeah. Unless you're flying sideways a lot, which you probably shouldn't be doing. Unless you're really good.
Yeah. Hey, welcome in, Marcel. Good to see you, man. Marcel off axis. Excellent. Excellent.
Marcel, is that Marco? No, that's not Marco Review. Sorry, Marcel. Somebody else. My bad.
Yep. No worries. So what I'd like to do now, guys, is go ahead and switch it over into the first giveaway of the live stream. This is going to be a U.S. giveaway, and don't worry, if you were outside the U.S., we're going to do a outside U.S. giveaway a little bit later in the stream. So don't go anywhere. And what we're going to be giving away tonight on the edrone show is this Just Send It edrone swag shirt in multiple colors and sizes.
I thought you were giving away the guy at first. All right, let's go.
Yeah, and you know what's funny is this is actually a picture of my motor and prop that I busted one of the props off, and I actually was able to fly it back with the prop looking like that.
That's a good tune.
Can you believe that? I mean, just amazing, the technology. You know, back when I first started, if you had a prop that was cut like that, you were lucky to be able to arm the thing without it freaking out.
Yeah. Betaflight has come a long way in Betaflight 4.4, and it's amazing. Maybe that's why my drone flies so good. I haven't tried it on 4.3 because when I finished the Mecha Roach, it was 4.4 time, right?
Yes. What's up, Sepher? Good to see you. And Corey Mano as well. Good to see you guys. Thanks for stopping in. All right. So if you guys would like, in the US, would like to win the Just Send It swag t-shirt, all you're going to have to do is get ready for the hashtag. We're going to go ahead and get that ready in just a second here.
I always feel like the inclination to hashtag it, but that would be. I'm a guest on the show. I shouldn't be winning any giveaways. But besides, it would cost you a pretty penny to ship it to China, which is one of the biggest issues for making drones over here. Is I'm very close to the manufacturers, but obviously, then if I get a customer overseas, it's going to be, it's going to be pricey.
Absolutely. I'm going to make this hashtag as easy as possible. That way, everybody, it shouldn't be too hard. This is going to be for the U.S. only for this giveaway for the Just Send It t-shirt. All right. And the hashtag is coming up right now. Hashtag Dr. Quads, all lowercase, all one word there. Nice and easy. You're in the U.S., go ahead and put the hashtag down in the live chat. And if you're international, don't worry. We are doing an international giveaway a little bit later. So this is for the Just Send It swag shirt here in multiple colors and sizes. I'm pretty sure I have a size to fit everyone. And whatever color you like. Multiple colors, lots of colors. And this same shirt is also available down in the video description if you'd like to purchase one to help out the channel. Greatly appreciate that. There's going to be links down in the live chat for Dr. Quad's channel as well. If you could check his channel out, make sure subscribe and see what he's got going on his channel so you don't miss out. All right, we're going to go ahead and get ready to draw the winner.
Oh, that's cool. I didn't even know they had this feature. That's awesome.
I love the giveaway tool. It makes things so much easier.
Yeah.
So all they have to do is type in the hashtag. We've got 11 entries. Anybody else in the U.S., go ahead and type it down in the live chat. Dr. Quads. All right. I'm going to go ahead and draw a winner. Good luck, everybody.
Attention.
Hey, congratulations to Hybrid Robotics.
Fantastic.
That's fantastic. And he's just getting in the hobby. And now you'll have an awesome drone swag t-shirt. And all you have to do to claim your prize is send me an email at emarvel09@gmail.com. And I'm going to pop that up here on the screen. And it's also down in the video description, as well as the link to Dr. Quad's YouTube channel. Make sure you check him out, show him some support. He would greatly appreciate that. Welcome in Newt McFly. Hey, what's up, Grand? Good to see you, brother. Yep, had a great day hanging out with the crew. Grand was out there as well as Windchill. Had an awesome time. Yeah, man, you won. Congrats. Yeah. Right? You got some good luck. Welcome in Ohmed Out FPV as well. Alrighty. And oh, did Johnny D come in? I didn't see. There he is, Johnny DRC. Welcome in, brother. Sorry I didn't see you earlier. All right. So that's the US giveaway, and we'll be doing an international giveaway towards the later half of the stream. All right. Let me go ahead and get back to the show here. And I want to talk to you, Dr. Quads, about a little bit about your background and what did you do before FPV, and how you come up with the name, Dr. Quads.
The name, I'm really bad at names. I kind of just shoot in the dark, and I go look at all the bullet holes and think, well, what landed on that? But it was Dr. Quads was mostly just I don't know. I actually, to be honest, I don't really remember. I think I just kind of picked it. Like that sounds fine. We'll ship that. As far as my background goes, though, I did mostly filmmaking, things like that. I did my commercial photography. Before I stepped into that realm was around the time of COVID. I was working a day job, just 9 to 5. And then when I lost that job due to COVID, I started just fooling around, and I got a camera. And ever since then, it was just like I got addicted. I absolutely love cameras, probably more than I love drones. I don't know. They're always kind of one's getting ahead over the other. Vintage lenses is what I'm really into right now. Oh man, I love the history. I love the character of these lenses. But most importantly, when it comes to FPV, I think there's relevancy because, they're like, shoot, this lens right here, this is a Helios 44, old Russian lens, still uses it today and makes beautiful images. In fact, I won some awards for some of my work recently, and it was by using entirely vintage lenses. And other people that I was competing against were using top of the line, 20 times or more expensive lenses. But it just shows the manufacturing processes and the love put into making a product that won't just be something that you buy now because it's cheap and because you want it, but also because there's this idea of making something that's going to last, something that will bring joy for multiple generations. I mean, I'm going to give this to my kids, and then they're going to give it to their kids. And how long will it last? It's all metal, so pretty much forever as long as you keep it nice. But I love that idea, and that's kind of when I came into FPV. I had this notion of these products should be something like this. And when I started realizing the plastics that DJI uses is not the best that they could be using, I'm like, well, why not? And then of course, when I started trying to make a business of selling drones and running into the issue, people saying like, oh, your drone's too expensive. I'm like, but I pour like a week or more of work into each drone, and I poured love and care into every little aspect of the drone. But that doesn't seem to be appreciated as much as it used to be. For instance, the lens that I'm filming on right now on this camera is a Carl Zeiss lens, and Carl Zeiss is legendary if anyone knows anything about lenses. And this is a guy that just made lenses that was just out of pure love and passion for filming and photography. And I want that to kind of be a little bit more in FPV. Let's have this mindset more that don't just buy the cheapest, board that you can slap on your drone. And I get that we're flying a drone, and inherently the risk is higher than a camera because crashing and stuff like that. But I think there's a middle ground, right, where we can kind of find that sweet spot. And a little shout out to Hack RC now. I got to do this. This is the Hack RC 50 amp they just finished, and they sent it to me. And I love Hack RC because I've built like 40 drones off the Hack RC 40 amp AIO, and I've never had an issue. Now, they're doing actually, and I'll just kind of call them out a little bit. They're doing what Takamar did back when they were fighting with Carl Zeiss over who made the best 50 millimeter lens. Back it was like the 60s, I think. And Takamar made a lens with 8 elements. It was like really advanced. You don't have to know about cameras to know that just this lens was amazing. It definitely beat the Carl Zeiss, which was a high bar to hit. But the only way that they could make it and sell it was to sell it at a loss. So every Takamar 8 treasure, they're called, they sold at a loss. Now they only made a certain amount before they ended up switching the design to something simpler. But that time period, they gained a name for themselves that was really just like very high up in the filming community. And so I think that's really special for a company to sell something at a loss so that they can just show people how good they are. And that's actually what Hack RC is doing. Why are these 40 amp AIOs so dang cheap? These are some of the cheapest you can get, right? Here, I'll switch over real quick and show you. and not so much as a promotion for them, but more just as a look into the manufacturing process and really what's going on kind of behind the scenes. Let me switch over. Okay, so like, why is this dang thing so freaking cheap, right? Why is this little guy so cheap? And yet I've built this thing maybe 30 or 40 times. I lost count. Never had a single issue, never had a customer that had an issue. It's a great ESC, it's great design, and yet this is one of the cheapest AIOs you can buy. Well, obviously you couldn't tell from where the story was going. The reason why is because they're selling it at a loss. They're actually selling it at a loss, which is pretty mind-blowing that they would do that, but they had the same notion that Takamar did. They came over here and they said, listen, we want to I asked them, why is it so cheap? They're like, well, we're selling at a loss. I'm like, why? And they're like, because we want people to know how good we are and how good HackRC is. So I think that's really fantastic. And that's why I've been critical of other YouTubers about their kind of blind promotion of companies like iFlight and GepRC. And yes, I get it. iFlight and GepRC have done good things in some way for the community, but their direction is not the direction that we should be promoting or supporting. The direction that we should be promoting and supporting is not a race to the bottom for the cheapest, crappiest, gutted drone. I mean, that's the Defender 25. The battery they're using in that drone is crap. It's absolute crap, but it's a good shell. It's a whitewashed wall. It's a very fantastic design. They did a great job, but like all the internals are crappy. The ProTech 25, when I stopped flying pre-built drones, it had a freaking 16 amp, 16 volt capacitor on a 4S drone. Did you see a problem here? There's some companies that just want to give you the cheapest thing that they could possibly give you while still making you feel like it's good. And that's not where we should be going. We should be going to the world where they just make something that's built to last. And maybe there's some quirks to it that don't make it as premium as something like a Canon RF lens, sure. But man, this thing still to this day can bring joy to millions because they made a lot of these and they last pretty much forever and they're beautiful. So that's
okay.
That's why I rant so much about it. Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, welcome in my good friend Saggy Balls FPV. Good to see you, my friend, as well as we had somebody else, Chris Long, welcome in as well. All right. And you were talking about your filmmaking. Before you got into the drones, you were really into filmmaking, and so the video that you did on the Mecha Roach. Now, did you film all that yourself?
Well, my wife helped, obviously, when I was in the shot. Yeah, so
yeah.
She's a filmmaker as well.
Oh, excellent. So I would like to go ahead and show that on the stream here, because I was really impressed with the presentation and the way that this was done. I feel like it was done very nicely. So let me go ahead and get this pulled up, and I want to watch it together.
And real quick, shout out to Ohmed out FPV. He said my mic sounds good. The Sony D100, man, nothing can beat this for the price to performance.
Excellent.
And it's a field recorder too. Say wherever you want it.
Excellent. I hope my mic sounds okay as well. I myself have a little bit of I'm getting over a sinus infection, so my voice may not sound as it normally does, but we're trying to get through it, so hopefully it sounds okay. All right. Let me go ahead and get this pulled up so we can watch it together. And here we go. Check this out, guys.
Super edgy. Yeah, I don't think you can play the music, right? Because it's copyrighted.
Yeah, I'm just, if you want to see the full video, make sure you check out Dr. Quad's channel.
I got copyright struck for this. We're like, they demonetized the video.
I like the battery slot here.
Yeah.
XT60, nice and clean out the back there. Smooth and quiet, like that. Very nice. It looks super stable.
Yeah, it's very, and actually this is the older version too, before I really dialed the tune in. And I made a couple
this I like here with the light. I like the light.
Yeah. I'm using a real pit to turn the lights on and off. It's a VTX switch.
I really like that. That's really cool that it's built in like that. Really
And
neat.
this is unstabilized, by the way, too, because I wanted to show people, how it actually is looking without stabilization.
There you go. There's that easy to access micro USB slot. Speed loading. I like that. Like speed loading your
Yeah.
batteries, like a clip or something.
Yeah. If I could do injection molding, I would make it like Defender 25 and make it a clip. But
Yeah,
that's
I thought the same thing. I thought, you know what, the gloves to me, it makes it feel like just that much more like premium. I don't know what it is about seeing you wear those
yeah.
gloves, but it just makes it feel more premium for some reason
Yeah.
when you got the
It kind
gloves
of reminds me
on.
of those channels where they have like I watch a lot of lens channels and they'll like wear these black latex gloves and always just feel so pro when they have those on.
I like the
This
return to home.
before GPS Betaflight 4.4 was out, and I was blown away by this. This was really special. And I know people in the comments were like, "Oh, our new pilot," and I've already had this for so long, but it's just the same thing like me making fun of people with DJI. At the same time, though, like what people are using is what people are using. If a lot of people are flying DJI, then you have to adapt to their mindset or change their mindset. There's no in between. And if most people are using Betaflight, most people are using Betaflight, right?
Absolutely, man. Well, that was a really cool video. Really enjoyed that. Top notch.
In the chat, do you always dress up when flying? Yes, every time.
And I thought, to me, that kind of went with the whole name. Like you had the long trench coat on, almost like a doctor, like the Dr. Quads. He's very well dressed like a doctor. Like it all just, I don't know. It all just, to me, it just all went well.
Thanks. I should have got a doctor's outfit. Jeez, I can't believe I missed that one. You just opened my eyes.
I mean, you could have done that, but I feel like, you were wearing like, dressy attire, which is what you would kind of assume that a doctor would be wearing when they're out flying their drone, right?
Funny little story. When I got my first order,
there you go, detective.
A detective. Yeah, that's what's going for. The detective.
You could change your name to Detective Drone.
Oh, it would have been so much better. Don't remind me. It's too late now. It's too late now.
Do we have a Detective Drone in the community? If so, forever hold your name.
Yeah, but the first order I got from overseas for my Mecha Roach was actually from a doctor. So when I sent him an email and I saw that his name was Doctor so and so, I was like, oh my gosh, let me just say off the bat, I'm not trying to pretend to be a doctor. I'm not actually a doctor. It's just the name. He's got no problem. But he's actually like a neurosurgeon or some really high level doctor. And he just flies FPV for fun. I thought that was so cool, and he was very patient too, because it took me a long time to finish that design for him because I kept running into issues in the process because I didn't know what I was doing. And so I had to like tell him, hey, sorry, man. So he waited like 2 months for that drone, but I gave him a lot of extra stuff.
Wow.
Cool guy. Really cool guy. Yeah.
Absolutely. I like the name. I think it's catchy. It just kind of, I don't know. It just reminded me of something, educational. I feel like your content's very educational, and then the whole doctor. It just, I don't know. I like it. I think it all meshes well.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
Doc Holiday, right? There you go.
Oh, Doc Holiday. Oh, that would have been good too. Yeah. Every time I see someone give me a suggestion for a name, I always hurts a little bit. I'm like, that would have been better. But I appreciate saying it's good.
Nah, that's okay. You go with what works for you.
Yeah.
We're going to go ahead and roll into our community standout portion, where me and Dr. Quads are going to take a look at some of your videos that you shared on my Discord server. And we'll take a look at some flights. And if you guys would like to have your videos featured on a future live stream, make sure you join the Discord down in the video description. Dr. Quads also has a Discord you can join as well, and his channel is linked down below. So make sure you check that out. All right. Let me get this pulled up in the background here so we can get ready to watch your guys' videos here. And just about there. Sorry for the background work. Make sure I have everything set to go.
I'm really bad about that. Anyone who's seen my streams often be long, just me kind of being like,
Yeah, and you still fly in style. That's right. I like it. I like it, man.
I'm gonna be honest
I
though.
like it. I think you should keep
all the
wearing the
time.
dress clothes while you fly. I think it's
Yeah.
cool.
It's so hot here. It is so hot and humid here. So sometimes when I go fly, it's wearing booty shorts and like a tank top. Like it's not that bad.
Oh my.
You don't want to see that. You know, nobody wants to see that. Oh, here we go.
Yeah, this is
Now,
actually a bando that I was actually fortunate enough to be able to fly as well. This is from our good friend
oh man, you guys are
Dead Moo,
just
and I'll put the link to Dead Moo's channel down in the live chat here in a minute.
Did you see that graffiti on the wall?
Oh, it's everywhere there. Yes.
Oh.
They have a really cool mural right there on the wall.
Yeah.
Like how he's getting down low in there.
I love the down low shots. Yeah.
Yeah. Now it looks like he's going to do a little bit of exploring and do focus on the cross up there a little bit. Come back down to a nice low. All right.
I liked, you know, this is what I really liked how short these are, these little clips. And by the way, if you ever want to do,
I love the poo on the door, right?
The poo, yeah, not actual poo, but just the writing. But if you ever want to do some sort of like America's Got Talent kind of like contest where we have like the initial, everyone sends like this, like a really short clip, you know, and then from that we have like 100, we pick like 20, and then we take those to the next round and like do some sort of like cascading challenges until finally there's a winner, a victor. The reason why I like that is the reason why I've watched some of your other live streams and how you actually focus on the pilot. The flying is important, but like you focus on the pilot, who it is and what they're about. I think that's so cool to get to know the FPV community and what you're doing right now even, but like in a way to where there can be kind of a, and that's what made America's Got Talent so successful, is there's kind of a continuity to the story, right? And you get to know these people, like Susan Boyle. Who doesn't know do you know who Susan Boyle is from that like back in the day? She sang I Dreamed a Dream. But like that became such a huge internet sensation, not because she sang well, which she did, but because of the story of this person, and it really evolved over time. And so I think that's special. I really like
I mean, this community, there's just so many awesome and amazing people in this community, and there's just so many, you know, different talents, and there's just, you know, I have been able to meet through this hobby some truly amazing people, and I find it just an honor to be able to be a part of something so great. And the link to Dead Moo's channel is right here. You can just go on over there and check him out. I'm sure he'd appreciate the love. Make sure you check him out over there ripping the bando. And maybe sometime we can link up and fly in person. That'd be awesome. I love being able to meet up with people.
I might do more freestyle. That's pretty cool.
Now, do you have any abandoned places over your way that are able to be flown, or?
Construction here is so fast. If something gets torn down or something's decrepit, it's torn down immediately and something is popping up in its place. There's a lot of unfinished buildings, but you can't fly there because people are still kind of working on it and stuff, right? There's places, but not where I'm at right now. It's tough to find that. Yeah. Plus also competing with the talent here, the freestyle talent, you know, I'd have to devote a lot of time to getting even close to their heels about how good they are. So I kind of like rather focus on what I'm already doing well at and make it even next level better. You know, the cinematic thing. I do enjoy it though. If I went out with friends like you and we flew, I'd definitely push it and I'd come back with a broken quad for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, we definitely get a lot of we push each other, and that's like half the fun for me.
Yeah.
It's like, oh man, you know, hit that gap, or let's do that trick, or you know, and that next level of like being pushed. And then when you nail it, you're like, yeah, man, I nailed it. Like, yes, you don't even care that, like, you know, you broke like 2 quads doing it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
you're just so excited that you nailed the challenge, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, I do.
All right.
It's tough to find that here because there's not many people where I'm at right now that fly FPV. So it's, some people will drive from like Shenzhen or Shanghai or stuff to come visit me. And that's always really fun. But usually those people are people that were like newer customers. So usually I'm kind of just teaching them, but they're getting pretty good. Shout out to El Chong. He's getting pretty good. So hopefully next time he comes to visit, we'll actually start ripping it and pushing each other.
There you go. Well, speaking of some cinematics, check out this Tucson, Arizona mountain dive here from our good buddy In the Woods. Absolutely. We have some mountains not real close to us, but there is some. And man, this is kind of like the next thing that I would love to do this year. And I think my brother Shaky FPV is working on it. We're gonna try to find a place where we can fly that has some cool mountains to be able to do like some nice cinematic flying.
Yeah, yeah.
I would just love to be able to do that. This is a huge mountain. I mean, can you imagine having to climb this thing?
Yeah, if you crash, you're gonna have to climb it.
I know.
And,
It's
going
such a
for it.
risky environment
He's
that
diving perfectly. I wonder what size. Is he in the chat right now? I'd like to ask him a few questions.
I'm not sure if I've seen in the woods in the chat tonight. I'm not sure, but if you are, feel
I'm
free
definitely
to
gonna have to
speak
hit
up.
him up go to your Discord and see if I can track him down.
Now, are all those cacti?
It looks like it, yeah.
They kind of look like cacti, which, you know, getting down low to the cacti, I really like that. He's taking risks in a very, you know, risky spot.
Yeah, it reminds me of Minecraft. You know, when you're like building over lava, like one mistake, it doesn't matter if it's a mountain or if it looks like it's great. Like it's going to be really tough to get your quad.
Yeah.
So
I'm going to drop the link here in just a minute after we watch this. I'm going to drop the link to In the Woods' channel so we can make sure we show him some love. But man, nice and high up there.
And
Looks
nice
like his quad is
too.
getting a nice hang time.
Yeah, that's got to be a 7-inch, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I love how he comes down close to the cactus.
Yeah, that's good. Oh,
Can you imagine nailing one of those cactuses?
Yeah. All right, he's getting low.
I know.
I love watching the progression of this because you can see he's starting to get a little bit more confident. He's starting to push a little bit more. But I bet you his, you know, his stomach is dropping a bit every time he goes to go for it because that's the nature of FPV. One little thing wrong and lose video signal or something like that, it's over.
Oh my gosh. I mean, can you imagine like, you know, a prop coming loose or something and you hit something, you go down and you can't get the quad back and it's stuck up there? Like, oh man.
Yeah.
Retrieval would be a nightmare.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I mean, even if you know where it is, because, you know, sometimes you kind of get flying and you kind of lose track of where you are. But I would say BZG NSS is working on an app right now that's going to work with their GPSs that you can see its last known or active location if the GPS is still active.
Right.
So that's me pretty cool. We've been needing that for a while. Like, why hasn't it come? Oh, look at him go. He's going now. He's more confident. He's going for it.
Oh, he's coming through there with some real good pitch.
You see what's going on? Why he had to pitch forward like that? It's his drone started sailing from the updraft. So so I thought that was my problem, but then everyone that does mountain surfing told me like, no, this is a common issue, and you gotta like. It's really tough to get a perfect sail on a mountain because there's so much wind and updraft on that mountain. It'll push you around.
Yeah, I can imagine. Yeah, we were flying in a little bit of wind gust today, and it would just you give a little bit of input, and the momentum from that and the wind just carries you way further than you expected. Yeah. Hey, welcome in, Props Off. Good to see you as well, my friend. Hey, we got Mark White as well hopping in. Good to see you. I'm going to put the link to In the Woods channel here that we're watching in just a moment. But thank you so much for sharing this over on my Discord. Thank you so much.
That's not the woods. That's the desert. Okay.
Yeah, right. Thank you so much for sharing. And I'm going to go ahead and get that pulled up here in the background. That way we can go ahead and get his channel linked. Let me copy here. All right. I'm going to post the link right here so you guys can check out his channel, In the Woods channel. Check him out. Show him some love. And if you guys would like to have one of your videos featured on a future live stream, make sure you check down in the video description my Discord server. It's free to join, as well as other links as well to help support the channel if you'd like to do so. And make sure you check out Dr. Quaz's channel, which is down in the video description as well. You don't want to miss out what he's got going on his channel.
I would like to butt in here and say, I really love what you're doing, edrones. This is really cool. This is cool. This kind of like what this live stream right here is just quintessential what I think is going to build a lot of community, like real community. People sharing, shouting people out. There's this rule on Reddit. It's like, don't self-promote. Why not? Like if people have something that they are passionate about and that they've done and they want to share it with someone, yeah, build them up, highlight them. So I really love it.
You can't submit your videos? Why not? All you gotta do is just go on, join my Discord and go into the Send It Sunday, Saturday live stream section and just copy and paste the link to your video via I can do YouTube. I haven't started doing vertical formats yet, like Instagram, but I'm sure it can be done. So if if you don't use YouTube and you use something else, feel free to drop the link to your video in there as well, and we'll hop over to the other platform and share it. Oh no.
Huh?
Dr. Quads,
Oh, no.
Where'd you go?
Wait, can you hear me? Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Yep, your audio is still there.
My battery died in the camera.
Oh, no worries.
I'll be right back.
No worries. So while you're getting your camera booted back up, I'm going to go ahead and get the last community standout pulled up for the night. We did do 3 tonight, and the reason we did 3 is because patrons, they definitely get special treatment when it comes to video submissions. So if you become a patron and you submit a video, that video will get put up in the queue to be shown on a live stream, the next live stream that comes up. So thank you so much to the new patrons and channel members. Greatly appreciate you guys, and as well as all my members in my Discord. I try to make sure I'm fair and get everybody featured at least once before I go and feature people multiple times. So hopefully I've done a good job with that. Definitely want to make sure I get everybody that I can noticed and let you guys see who's out here. All right. You still there, Dr. Quads?
Yeah, sorry, hold up, I'm grabbing a battery.
Okay, no worries. While Dr. Quads is getting his camera pulled back up, we're going to go ahead and get the next community, or the last community standout, pulled up for the night. So bear with me. Yeah, I think his battery died in his camera, so he's going to swap out batteries.
I'm still here. Don't worry, guys.
Yeah, he's still here. We can still hear him.
Yeah. Okay. Oh man.
Excellent. Hey, and you're seeing it live. This is live stream. This is raw. This is spice. Right. This is something that you only see live. Is technical difficulties, which we all go through.
A battery dummy thing, but it broke. The tab broke, so it wouldn't stay up in there. So I always use a battery, but not this thing.
No worries. I myself have had technical difficulties as well. So yeah, it's part of the nature of the beast, right?
Yeah, definitely. And
how we get through it is what makes us true professionals.
Yeah. Oh man. That's all you, man. I don't know if I'm a professional.
That's often, all right.
Falling all over myself in my live stream.
No, I think you handled it very well. You're back. Good to see you again. We're happy we have your video back as well. All right. So let's go ahead and watch our last community standout here. This is from new Little Dojo. Yeah. All right.
Hey, hold up a second.
What's up?
How are you guys hearing me? My mic is off.
Oh, I can definitely hear you. Did you switch sources?
Maybe. Check.
I mean, I can still hear you.
Anyways, let's watch this here.
Yeah, Ian, he's coming through with some speed. I really like the speed.
Oh, he's going, man. He's going. I like it.
I know. It's cool how you can take a cool spot like this and really just bring it all together and do some dynamic stuff here and bring some tricks together.
Oh, I love that. I love that little flip, that kind of delayed flip. Makes your stomach drop a little bit.
Maybe we're getting the audio from your camera was suggested.
I think so.
It doesn't sound bad. I mean, not on my end. I like these tricks over the fence as well. He's getting
Yeah.
down low and tight. Oh, almost saved it. Almost saved it. Oh, turtle mode to the rescue.
I still have never used turtle mode even once.
You know, we were having, me and my friends, Vampire, we were having a discussion today about why do we call it turtle mode when a turtle flips over upside down, it can't flip itself back over. So why do we call it turtle mode?
I think it's just
I'm like, you know
homage
what? I
to
don't know.
the problems that turtles face that we also face.
I guess so. I like how he went between the two fences there.
Yeah.
Nice and tight.
He's having a lot of fun, I can tell, you know, because he's just flowing with it. Whew,
Oh,
God,
yeah.
man, he's got confidence. Don't break your car, man. That's a little bit more expensive to fix than the drone.
Now, that's the laser flip, right? The one where he did it over the fence.
Yeah.
I really like that trick.
Yeah,
It's almost like a shoulder roll. Kind of feels like a shoulder roll over something. And hit it. Never disarm, never surrender. And he kept it going. Absolutely. King Keek said, I call it life alert mode. There you go.
I want to do more of this kind of flying because it looks like a lot of fun. But
nothing burns. Nothing burns motors like turtle mode. Yeah, that can definitely burn some stuff up.
Yeah, that's why I don't use it, because I've heard from so many people that I respect saying the same thing you just said. You know, and so like I don't want to burn my motors.
I believe it used to be called turtle mode in beta flight, but then they switched it to flip over after crash, I believe.
Yeah.
Or something along those lines. That's it. Koopa. You double A nailed it. Dang it, double A. I wish you were there today when me and Vampire were having this discussion, because you just nailed it. Yes. Flip over when crash. There you go.
Yeah.
Oh, they can flip themselves over? No way.
Right? So walk yourself over to your spot and get some exercise.
Oh, wow. Excellent. Well, thank you for sharing. This is some great conversations. Oh, shoot. I was supposed to hit pause. This is some great conversations about turtle mode. So thank you for everybody for contributing. And thank you, Little Dojo, for your awesome video. I'm going to go ahead and link your channel here in the live chat as well, so you guys can go check him out as well. All right. And I'm going to put that right here in the live chat. Make sure you check him out. Thank you so much for sharing. And if you guys would like to have your videos shared on a future live stream, make sure you check out the Discord down in the description, as well as some other links to help support the channel, to help back to doing my giveaways. And make sure you check out Dr. Quad's channel as well. Link to his channel is down in the video description. And then, see, this is exactly
it has a mic
why,
now. Can you hear it different?
Oh, wow. That sounds like 100% better.
Wow. I feel like, yeah, I'm a professional.
Holy cow. I feel like I did not know your actual voice, but now I do.
I'm so sorry, guys. I'm so sorry.
This is great entertainment. This is fantastic.
I'm a professional. If anyone wants to hire me to be a video professional, I definitely am. Oh gosh. Oh, no.
I did the same thing on a stream one time. I accidentally somehow, I don't know if I did an update on my computer or something, but for the whole, I want to say it was at least 10 or 15 minutes. I had my audio source device to my laptop mic.
Yeah, that'll do it. Oh man. Yeah, that's how I feel right now.
The audio was straight garbage. It was so bad. And everybody's like, man, edrone, your audio sounds horrible, man. Something's not right. And I'm like, I don't understand, man. My microphone's on. I don't know. And I start twisting and turning things and replugging in things. And finally, I said, oh my God, guys, I figured it out. And I clicked the source and changed the source back to my microphone. I'm
Oh,
like, I had it set to the laptop mic somehow. Oh, oh,
that's how I feel right now. Only worse.
oh. well,
Yeah.
well, this sounds amazing.
Thank you. Yeah.
This microphone sounds fantastic.
Yeah. I'm really in love with the D100 because actually, if you look at my video I did in the mall, it was like once in a lifetime fly through a mall. My first video through the mall, I ended up trying to recreate all the sounds, which is incredibly time consuming, by the way. But I used this to do that, and it was like I was so in love with how streamlined and easy this is. When you turn it on, it works really good. So
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Well, in honor of Dr. Quads, all the way from China, I believe it's time to go ahead and do our international giveaway. And what we're going to be giving away for you international viewers only for this one, make sure you check out flyhighfpv.com for the best LEDs in the biz. We're going to be giving away a $25 Fly High FPV gift card. And this is going to be for international viewers.
Oh, smart.
Hey, what's up, Bot Grinder? Good to see you, brother. I know I am moving off caffeine right now. And I did take like a little, I want to say like it was probably like a 15-minute nap. We had a great day, man, and obviously, yes, we were having some awesome FPV adventures, and it can be quite tiring, standing out there and
intimidating flying with Bot Grinder. He's really, really good. Like I've seen some of his freestyle videos. I would love to learn.
He is probably one of the most down to earth pilots I've ever met, and I kid you not, and that comes from the heart. I mean, me talking with Bot Grinder, it to me is like talking to like my cousin or my brother, or he's just so down to earth. So one of the most down to earth people you can ever meet. Just realest of the real, a real person. Yeah, and he is a phenomenal pilot, and we had some fun out there. You should have seen what we were doing today. Make sure you check out Bot's channel because he's got videos coming up on that. But I'll give you a little bit of a teaser. He did basically a race with him and another pilot with goggles on, and other pilots were flying their drones and they were running with the goggles on and trying to race to see who could win. Oh man, it was hilarious.
While flying or just wearing the goggles?
So Bot and then another pilot were wearing their FPV goggles, and then we had two other people who were flying their drones like near them, which they had to use to navigate to run to the finish line. Yeah, it was so cool.
I know for a fact that's really hard. That makes Bot Grinder. Did you get like motion sickness? Because when I tried to do the third person view video where I put the DJI 03 on a pole attached to myself and I was wearing the goggles walking around, I got really sick from that because it was very disorienting,
Yeah, he's done a lot of stuff like that where he does like the first person, driving and stuff like that. And I think he's starting to get used to it.
Yeah, you build up kind of a resistance to it, but I was like tanked for 3 hours after trying to make that video because I just felt
that's all I'm gonna say. If you want to see any more, you got to go check out Bot's channel for the full video. So make sure you don't miss out on that. Yeah. So let's go ahead and do the international giveaway. Is there any international viewers in here? I believe I see Marcel. Anybody else international that would like to win a $25 Fly High FPV gift card? Anybody? International is just anybody that doesn't live in the U.S. So Canada is included.
What about Chaz? Does Chaz count? That's technically not in the U.S.
Yeah, Chaz. Now, where is Chaz?
No, Chaz. The something autonomous zone. Gosh, where was that? Seattle, I think. Right.
Chaz.
The people that like took over at City, and they were like, "This is no longer in the United States. This is the something autonomous zone." I forget what it was called. Someone in the chat, help me out here. Give me
as long as it has an international address, I guess.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Might
Corey
piss off
Mano
Jasmine.
was in here. Did he? Okay, Mark's in the UK.
Yeah.
Excellent, excellent. All right, so people that are outside of the US, international, Double A knows what you're talking about. You said Chad.
Yeah, Chad, not Chaz. Well, they changed it. Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
So I'm going to get the hashtag ready here for the international. And you could probably already know what the hashtag is going to say based on what we're giving away here. But if you didn't know, now's the time for me to share that. So you guys can go ahead and put the hashtag, if you're international, put the hashtag down in the live chat. Hashtag get lit. We said, what if we lie and say we live out of
I
the
was laughing
US?
at that.
Oh no. Well, I hope you wouldn't do that. That wouldn't be cool. I already did my US giveaway. This is time for the international viewers. We have some international viewers.
I'll send you some stuff.
There you go. And if you didn't win, don't be upset. We're going to be doing more giveaways. We got live streams lined up for next month as well for some special guests. And let's see. And May as well, actually. Special shout out to Dan, old drone worship man. He helped me line up some guests for May as well. Appreciate you. I fix Shet, drone worship DW. Anybody else for international would like to win a $25 Fly High FPV gift card? International. Anybody else? I know it's 50-50 right now. We only have 2 entries. Oh, this is going to be.
Marcel is never going to miss another live stream ever. He is never
I
missing
know.
another one.
Marcel has won like the last, I think, like 2 or 3 international giveaway. I'm probably going to have to start
do some promotion here, you know?
Yeah,
Although
please.
You put him in a strange position where if he promotes your live streams to his international friends, then he might be less likely to win. But then, of course, he feels obligated because you been very kind to him.
He said, if I win, this will be number 4.
Oh my gosh, Marcel!
I know.
Get out there and promote. I'll do some love too over here in China.
He's been an awesome fan of the show. He comes here every time I go live. Marcel is here. I'll appreciate your support. What if we are illegal aliens but are in the U.S.? Well, technically, if you are in the U.S., then you are excluded.
That's right.
You have to your personal self. You have to be outside the U.S. So, in theory,
Where you're going with this?
You see where I'm going with this?
Yeah, I see where you're going with this. Yeah, I like it.
In theory, if you are visiting outside of the U.S. right now, in theory, you could enter in to win because theoretically, you are outside of the U.S. right now.
Yeah. So if you live in Texas, then yeah, just step on over. It's just some guy just running across the border with a cell phone out.
Oh, that's great. He has gifted them to other people. That's great.
Oh, that's pretty good.
See, that's what it's all about. Marcel, you're awesome. And I've been happy that you've been winning, man. I'm not gonna lie. I've been happy. He said, that's it. I'm going back across the border. You missed a domestic? Yeah, it was earlier, my friend. It was earlier. Sorry. Don't worry. There's going to be more giveaways. Okay. Well, Low KV, you're outside the U.S. You can enter.
That's my wife. No, you can't win, babe. Get out of here.
Now, what you do once you win, that's up to you.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think we're going to go ahead and call it we have 2 entries. So good luck to Marcel. And I think the other one was it Mark White? Yeah. Mark White in UK, right?
Oh, and Props Off has got to go because his mom's calling. Props Off, thanks for coming by, man. Love your videos. Good stuff.
Absolutely. Appreciate you, brother. All right. Good luck, everybody. Let me find my drum roll. Hey,
Hey, there you
congratulations to Mark
go.
R. White.
There you go.
You have
thumbnail.
won the international giveaway of the live stream. You know, I haven't seen Carlton all night. Carlton, where you been at, man? Love to see Carlton get to his feet now. Congratulations. You are the winner of the $25 Fly High FPV virtual gift card. And all you need to do to claim your prize, my friend, is have a valid email address and send me an email at emarvel09@gmail.com, and I will send that to you this week. All right. Fantastic. All right. Now, I'm so sorry. I feel like I've been jabbering, and now it's time to get back to our special guest. Let me go ahead and close this out.
You kind of relax a little bit and let you do your thing.
I know. I want to get back into you, and let's go ahead and open it up for Q&A for Dr. Quads, myself, or the chat. Let's get your questions rolling in. And while we get ready to get into that, I had a question for you. What are some goals that you have for yourself, the channel, the community, in this exciting new year we have?
Rapid fire and end at the community one, because the community one, it's to me a little bit more important. For myself or for my channel, to be honest, you know, trying to figure out what to do with a channel professionally when I do have other work, like, you know, film work that is maybe more important because it pays the bills, right? But I really want the channel to become something like a lot of the people I look at that are educating. You know, you said that my channel is more educational. I hope it can, you know, delve in that direction more also too, because I want to onboard new people. You know, there's a lot of different ways to draw in people, and I think we have a pretty good blanket right now in FPV. But you know, there's always more that we can do, and so I want to kind of fill some gaps in there with the channel to onboard more people to FPV. As far as the community goes, I think one of the big things that I really want to see happen is we need to start remembering that, like, why we first got into FPV and what really kind of gave us so much passion for FPV. And so how can we transfer that? I think a big part of the problem that I've seen is not so much the criticism, but just the fact of the matter, we all do it. The better we get, the more we know, the more we are along our journey of FPV, the more we can start trying to tell the people that are coming in how it should be done. But that wasn't like that when we first got into FPV, especially probably the people that have been in longer than me, even, like, it was a Wild West. You did whatever worked. You figured it out yourself. And that was what really, like, gave us the passion to keep going and got us through the tough times when we come home with a broken quad. And so I want to see more, especially on, like, the Reddit side of things, you know, like more of positive space given to these newer people to try new things, to try dumb things, stupid things even, you know, and then to build them up, like with what you're doing with your channel or with the live stream where you show other people's videos and stuff. We need more of that. Right? We need more of spotlighting the pilots and the awesome people in FPV. So I just got to give a shout out to you as well. Like, this is really fantastic what you're doing. And I totally support it.
I greatly appreciate that. Thank you so much. You know, the whole premise of the live stream was to be able to connect with my viewers and my audience in the community in a more personal way. And I felt like live streaming was the one thing that my channel was missing that can truly just, you know, reach out to people in such a personal way, such a more interactive way than me just making a video and uploading it, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Sure, I can interact in the comments after the video's been, you know, live and all that. And that's great. And I love interacting in the comments. I really do.
Yeah.
But I wanted to do something that was way more personalized, you know, way more interactive, and live streaming for me was it. Then I decided, well, how can I, you know, make this unique? How can I make this a little bit different? And I decided that, you know, I just wanted to have anybody come on as a special guest. If you've contributed anything that I feel is a positive contribution to the community, I want you on my show. I don't care if you have, you know, 10 subs. I don't care if you have 0 subs. I don't care if you have 100,000 subs. If you've done something awesome for the community, I want you on my show. And I think we should be boasting each other up and spreading, each other around in a good, positive way.
Absolutely agree. Totally agree. I think that's going to fix a lot of the issues we have in FPV. I know Brian Simpson, is that his name? Bruce Simpson. I watch him a lot. I really like him a lot. Bruce, if you're watching, I like you a lot, Bruce, because some people say that he complains a lot and stuff, and people say that about me as well. But I think they're misunderstanding us. And there's different kinds of people that approach problems in different ways. And the people like me and Bruce, we are problem solvers. And sometimes we can focus on the negative, not because we want to be negative, but actually because we want to fix that negative because we want it to be positive. I think that's what he's doing right now. And I think we need to be really wise with how we step forward in FPV, especially, well, for you guys, especially. I'm kind of fine over here, but like you guys are going through a rough time in the West. There's a lot of regulations hitting your door and they are looking scary. And it doesn't look like it's slowing down anytime soon. So we've really got to bind together as an FPV community. And maybe maybe them coming against us, maybe the FAA doing all this stupid crap, it's actually going to kind of turn against them in a way, because it might unify us, right? Where we normally wouldn't be unified, where different cliques and different groups that normally wouldn't interact and build each other up might actually start doing that now because they recognize the threat of over regulation. So I think
Bruce
cool.
is an amazing member of our community. And, he has stood up for our hobby in so many positive ways. And he doesn't even live here in the US.
Yeah.
And he has done more, to help the US hobbyists, RC enthusiasts than a lot of people that are here in the US. Yeah. Can't say enough good things about Bruce. One day, I'm hoping that I will be able to get him on this show. I've been trying, and believe me, I know he is an incredibly busy man.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But one day that would be definitely would be a dream come true to have him come on the show one day. So we will continue to keep trying. Yeah. And yeah, second is, right now, I think the best thing that we can do is before, the Congress gets rolled out with this new addendum for the FAA reauthorization act. The best thing we can do right now, as a community, is reach out to our local Congress, our local senator, our local representatives on the state level. And, Bruce taught us a lot that, if you're going to copy and paste, that's okay, because that's what was originally asked. However, it may not be the most effective way to reach our representatives. We may, need to step it up and actually send out some more personalized emails. Yeah. That way we can make, a good effort, honest effort to be able to reach out and say, hey, look, this is why we think we should raise the registration weight from 250, sub 250 to 1 kilogram. It just makes sense, But now, like he's talked about so much, now the whole security thing is what's being pushed now. It's more about, drones are a matter of, national security issues. And so it's an uphill battle. But if we stick together, like you said, that's our best shot.
And if I could say real quick too, I think there's a side that I haven't seen much talk about, but I think is really important, is that more than just arguing or complaining or whatever to our local senators, I think we need to start taking DJI's stance on FPV a bit and making it more accessible and inspirational and more of a community impact, a broader community impact for regular people, that with every dude and his mom and his grandma, if they all kind of know what FPV is, because FPV becomes so accessible and welcoming to new flyers and to new people, then it starts becoming a cultural thing as well too. Like DJI Mavic drones are a cultural thing. Everyone knows what they are. Everyone flies when, I got my Mavic 2 Mini in my backpack, And so that's something that might be harder to regulate, because it's going to have such a broader impact and regular people are going to be affected. Whereas affecting the FPV community right now, it's a small, mostly negative, I would say, in some ways, a community that are fighting with each other all the time. So it's an easy target. Now, if we bind together and we start reaching out more to new flyers and making it a more hospitable place for new flyers, then we'll start having more of an audience to tell these good ideas to, like, write your local senator. But more than that, we'll inspire people. right? We'll inspire people to be in love with this hobby that could even be a career. And like when my kids grow up, maybe they could, do something with FPV for the rest of their lives. And when you inspire people, that gives people a lot more of an incentive to stand up for their rights and stand up for what is going to be good for the community. So I think we do more stuff like that as well. Like all of these things need to kind of be in tandem, because like you said, it's an uphill battle. Can we win? We're going to have to give it 100%, right? 100%. Yeah.
In the Woods, yes, we did show your video earlier. Thank you so much. And now he's in the chat. So if you guys like to check him
I'll
out,
definitely have to hit you up in the woods in Discord, because I want to ask you a few questions.
Yeah, that mountain diving video was really awesome. Really enjoyed that. Thank you so much. And yes, we want to hope to get this passed. And I think the main thing is, like you said, awareness, right? The more popular FPV can become, the more it can be shared and enjoyed. Yeah. And I've said this before, you never know which politician's daughter or son or nephew or what have you may get into this hobby. And now all of a sudden it becomes, well, wait a minute. Now you're talking about ruining the fun for my family member. Now it's personal.
That's a good point. That's a really good point. I think that's huge.
That's where we're at. Yeah. The more FPV is brought into mainstream, the better. Yeah. So share it, share it with everybody. I think today, I met two or three new people that didn't know anything about FPV, that are all in, that are wanting to buy, stuff to build. Yeah. They're buying goggles right now. They're buying transmitters. And I couldn't be more excited, because that's what it's all about. Sharing the hobby with others, getting others involved, making the hobby larger. You just never know who you can touch.
Yeah. Well, yeah. And real quick, like you were saying, the senator to son thing, like I've met a lot of kids that, younger kids, maybe like 17, 18, I guess they're young for me now, I'm old, but, so, and they might've been a little bit shy, or they had difficulty communicating. Maybe they're a little bit autistic or something like that, but then they get an FPV and it starts opening them up. And so imagine a senator's son might be like that. And then he sees his son or his nephew or whatever start to kind of open up, and, his life starts to go a little bit better because he's more bold and he's taking risks and he's learning how to manage his emotions and stuff. Cause that's what FPV does, man. You got to really learn how to manage your stress levels and stuff, and when he sees that happen, and it's such a beautiful, amazing thing to see someone take to a hobby that requires something of them, which FPV does. And when he sees that, he's like, this is really great. Wow, this is cool. Hey, look at how cool my son built this. Whoa, who could imagine that? And then he goes and hears that people are trying to screw it over. And he's like, well, hold up a second here. This thing's pretty cool, man. Look what it did for my kid or my nephew or my friend, whatever. And so that, I think your point just there was it, man. That was it. That was really, that could be really it. When people start seeing FPV for what it really is and what it could be, and why we're all so much in love with FPV, when they understand, I think we have a good defense then.
Is it to raise the minimum weight? Yes. That's what we're trying to get the FPV Freedom Coalition, as well as the Flight Test Community Association. Make sure you check out those channels so you can get the correct information. And I did a community post as well about it. But basically, they give you a copy and paste option. So if you want to copy and paste these letters and send them directly to your state representative and congressman, you can do that, and your senator. However, Bruce XJet brought up a really good point, that sometimes copy and paste is not the most effective way to get attention when it comes to our politicians, our parties. Sometimes to reach them in a more effective way, we need to personalize it and make it a little bit more personal. You can also do the copy and paste, but add something personal to it to kind of make it stand out a little bit more. So, and another thing I will say real quick about FPV, and I personally know of several people who this hobby has saved from addictions. Yeah. Terrible addictions. I would be interested to know, out of everybody in the entire world, how many people has FPV saved from depression, addictions,
Yeah.
Right? How many lives has FPV affected positively?
Yeah.
You know, why would we want to take something like that that's done so much good for our world
Yeah.
and make it difficult for people to get into, or make it a burden, or make it a financially just unreasonable, That's what
I mean,
really just grinds my gears, man,
kids,
because it's done so much positive
yeah.
things for our world. Why would you want to attack that and make it so difficult
Yeah.
for people to just say, you know what, this is just too much. Like, I gotta register it. I gotta take this trust test. Now I gotta go buy a transponder. Now I gotta register that. Now I gotta attach it to my drone. Now I gotta pay more fee. Now I gotta download this app. It's just blah blah yada 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 yada. It's just one thing after another. People are just gonna say the hell with it.
Yeah.
The hell with it, and I think that's what they want. They want to make it more difficult to keep less people, or keep more people out of the air, so they can monetize the airspace with these big corporations. And I'm sick of it. We got to stand up for our hobby.
Kids these days, they're constantly talking about getting kids off TikTok, getting kids off the cell phones, and
Right.
kids go to school and all they're doing is playing video games and stuff. And like, as a person who wasted their entire life playing video games and FPV, man, I have not played a video game since I got an FPV.
Same.
I haven't.
Same.
And the skills that they learn and the diligence that they learn, and all, when you build your own quad and you maintain it and you fly it, there is no negatives at all. Like, you just learn so much character. You build so much character by flying FPV, and so that's really special. All these legislators saying, how do we get kids to take education seriously again in this technological age where it's an uphill battle? That's an uphill battle, is education. How do you get kids to focus in class when now they could use Chat GPT to cheat on everything? Like, man, I'm telling you what, like what you said is so true. Do not limit or do not add any barriers along the way to this fantastic STEM field. Would we be happy if kids got into robotics? Absolutely. Well,
right.
You're one step away. And so this is really fantastic for the future generation to not only learn how to engage in an educational world, because listen, you're going to get FPV, you're going to have to learn a lot, because it is a very vast field. And to actually make this little tiny thing and these little motors fly up in the air, which is a dream of humanity since we can even remember, to fly up in the air and you control it and you can be right there and see it. You're going to have to learn some stuff, but it's going to be worth it. And so to add any barrier along the way is it's horrible. It's absolutely horrible. And so that's
right.
what legislators need to understand, is that this isn't just about a bunch of old men wanting to fly and have their fun. This is about the future generations being able to engage in a technological world without just becoming zombies to social media or video games.
Right. Hey, I mean, think about it. Like,
go ahead.
FPV gets you outside of your home, for some, if you're going to do the outside flying, gets you outside of your home. It gets you to interact with your environment. It gets you to learn crucial skills.
Yeah.
In order to, build this aircraft, fly this aircraft, learn, all these technological skills to be able to enjoy the hobby, and as well as creates amazing social skills with people of like-minded interests.
Yeah.
We talk about how much social skills are lacking nowadays because of the video games, because of the social media. Well, nothing's going to, increase people's social skills more than getting out together and flying and doing FPV together.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So I don't see where FPV is even come close to being anything negative to deserve all of the regulation that's trying to get pushed down upon it. It's just not justified. Not justified.
Yeah, absolutely.
Think about all the meetups that are happening now all over the world. They're having all kinds of meetups where people can get together with the love of FPV. They can meet one another in person. They can fly together. They can learn together. You know, this is an amazing hobby that just needs to continue to grow.
Yeah.
And
it's a great segue into electronics knowledge. I mean, think about the future jobs, right? That these kids are going to step into, where AI and robotics are going to be taking a lot of these older jobs. Well, hey, guess what? It's like the Willy Wonka movie, right? Where the dad loses his job to the toothpaste thing, and then he like later learns how to fix the machines that took his job, right? But like, yeah, absolutely. You teach kids how to like do electronics and how to understand these things and understand how it all works. And then they go out there and they're going to be a lot more adept to a job in the future where AI and machines can pretty much do everything a human can do, but someone needs to maintain those machines. Someone needs to understand those machines. And so this is just an unbelievably fantastic thing to get kids into. It's unbelievably fantastic in so many different ways. And the idea of limiting that, especially the kids, as Bruce was saying, that like now kids can't fly without supervision. Oh man, that gets me going. Like that just makes me more mad than anything, because now you've really just drove the knife right where you shouldn't have. The worst possible place that you could have drove that knife into is limiting kids' ability to understand this kind of stuff and to interact with it and fly it and be and filled with passion by it. Well, just fine. You go play Fortnite. Just go play Fortnite and scroll on your phone all day long. Is that what they're saying? And that's what these legislators need to understand what's happening. It's not just about old guys flying. It's about getting these kids out of the darkness of social media and video games into something more meaningful that will actually potentially not only make them more beneficial, profiting members of society, so that they're actually giving something to society by, working in a job such as this, but also the fact that they're going to be able to learn social skills and not just sit on their phone all day. It's like, name a negative, come on.
Right. Hey, welcome in, Mr. J's RC. Good to see you as well. Thanks for stopping in. And look, here's the thing, this is the thing that really just kind of puts it over the top for me. The thing about it is, when it comes to FPV, most of everybody that's in this chat, Dr. Quads, myself, people watching the chat in the future from now, I think you guys would all agree that whether you've built a drone yourself or you've bought a drone and you've set it up and you've bound it and you've connected it and you've done all the work, you've put in the time to learn how to get this thing to fly. When you see that quadcopter fly for the first time, you have a sense of pride in yourself, in what you've put your work and money into.
Yeah.
And that sense of pride is a great feeling. Think about what that would do to someone suffering from, mental health, depression, anxiety, drug abuse, addiction. Yeah. Think about how much of a positive change this can do for our kids.
Yeah.
Teaching them valuable skills to prepare them for the workforce, to be able to share this awesome technology amongst their peers.
Yeah.
It's such a social hobby. It's one of the most social hobbies I think I've ever been a part of.
Yeah. And the fact that DJI goggles, you can watch your friend fly while he's flying.
Right. And that's what makes it amazing. I think about when I got into FPV, I got into it by myself, right? I got into it by myself. As far as when I started flying, I learned about it from others. But I got into it at first by myself. Then I started meeting people through social media. Then I started to actually physically meet these people through social media, and we would get together and start flying.
Yeah.
And then the more people I met, the more I was able to connect and network. And now I just feel like I've got an FPV family all around me in many different states, in many different parts of the world. And it doesn't have to be just people I see in person. I can hop on a video chat with just about anybody I've met in this hobby, and I guarantee you we would hang out and talk about FPV all night long if we wanted to.
Yeah.
And that
differences
is
arise
amazing.
between us. There's a pathway there, a bridge to find common ground, right? And so that actually makes it less likely to be divisive when we find some differences we have politically or whatever, Yeah.
My good friend Goomba, absolutely, man. Hey, You got the heart for it, brother. Let me tell you something, man. This hobby, it takes a certain type of heart and dedication, and you have it. I've seen it. So I can't wait to see what you are going to become in this hobby, my friend. And I've been telling you that for a while. He got in with the DJI FPV drone as well. Dr. Quads did as well. And so did Murders FPV. There has been so many amazing pilots, amazing people that are a part of this community that have got in from a, DJI, bind and fly, what have you, and have just pushed the doors right on open and just gone, just gone like wild with it. And I just can't wait till that happens for you, man. I can't wait to see you soldering up your builds, and you're going to love it, man. You're going to love it. You're going to have a sense of pride that nobody can take away. Nobody.
Yeah. Yeah. It makes you love yourself, not in a negative way, but it makes you respect yourself, and you see the dedication. As a kid, I had a lot of project and ideas and stuff, but I would always stop. I would always get bored, or it was too hard, and then I would quit. I didn't have the follow through to stick through the tough times. And so, I remember my stepdad told me that, and it really kind of hurt, right? It made me lose respect for myself. But, just in the past couple of years, I've been kind of gaining that respect back, seeing myself power through and not give up. And even when things are tough the tough get, what was it? When the going gets tough, the tough get going. And so then when you see yourself do that, you have respect for yourself. And that actually then makes you more gracious to other people. Because often when we don't like ourselves and we hate ourselves, as you were talking about people that are depressed and stuff, as I really was too, like you can then that puts out to other people, right? That kind of comes out to other people. But just because of FPV, I feel like I'm just, there's a lot of healing and growing, and I didn't think too gay about it, but it is, it's
no, there is.
That suffer a lot, and FPV, it gives you a sense of real pride, not bad pride, not false pride, but real pride and respect for yourself. It's essential.
This is a real thing right here. I was the same way when I first bought all my parts for my first build. I was terrified. I was so nervous, so anxious. Oh my God, I'm going to destroy it. Oh my God, I'm going to put too much heat on it. Oh my God, I'm going to break it. Oh my God, I'm going to, cross the wires. You have to have faith in yourself, and you have to take your time. You put the time in your research, and you take your time when you do it. And for me, it's going to be different for everybody, but for me, it was one step at a time, one step at a time. And I would focus on that one step. I would hyper focus on it. And I would do one step at a time, one step at a time. I would get practice soldering boards, and I would solder on practice soldering boards. I would take old parts that were no good. I would practice soldering on them, and I would just keep at it, brother. Keep at it. Don't let it intimidate you. And look, you're going to make mistakes. You're going to fry stuff. It's just part of it. And guess what? Once you do, you learn, and you're like, I'm not doing that again. No, I will definitely double check all my solder joints 3 times over before I plug this battery in.
Oh, and always use a smoke stopper. Where's my smoke stopper? Smoke stopper.
See, this is the community that I love. Don't be scared. You can do it. Like, that's what you need right now. You need the support of your fellow peers saying, nah, man, you got this. Like, I know you're scared. I know you're anxious. I know it's intimidating. Believe me, I do. And Dr. Quaz does as well. We were all there. Yeah. You can do this.
I just fried a board 2 weeks ago when I was making that video about the testing the Maple wireless antennas. I don't know what happened. It fried. But
exactly.
You could send them back to the manufacturer pretty cheap and get them fixed too. Unless you fry the MCU, it's probably going to be something like $5 or $10 and then shipping to fix it. So yeah.
And think about it like this also. The more stuff that you have to solder and fix and repair, the better you're going to get, the more confident you're going to get. And pretty soon it's just going to feel like, you're making a peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I know that's a crazy analogy, but that's how it feels to me now. I feel like I'm making a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. It's just that I've done it so much and I'm so comfortable with it. It's like second nature.
Yeah.
And,
in the short term, you'll save money by going DJI like FPV route or something like that. But in the long run, you'll actually end up spending more money. But with FPV, in the short term, yeah, you're going to buy like your charger, your goggles, your controller, all that kind of stuff. So the initial investment is more, but like what edrones was just saying, you're going to learn so much so that when one little thing goes wrong, you don't need to send it back to the manufacturer. You just fix it yourself. And so you actually will eventually get to the point now where I basically don't spend any money on FPV anymore. Like other than like the initial parts, but like everything else, you just fix yourself, you build it yourself, and there you go. So actually to build myself a drone is incredibly cheap. So like incredibly cheap, if I'm using my own time.
The fact that you're still worried means you're going to be an excellent builder, because people that are worried care about their work, and they care about their product, and they care about their parts. So you're going to take extra time and extra effort to do a great job. I can already tell you that. And that's how I am. I'm always worried. Oh my gosh, did I wire the right wire? Oh, let me check it 5 times, 6 times. You know what? Let me check it 7 times.
You should. And I'm trying to find my smoke stopper right now. Buy a smoke stopper. People that don't use a smoke stopper, I don't know how you've done it. Because there's so many times I plugged in. Because by the time you're at the end of the build, you're a little tired, and then you plug it in and you realize, oh no, I've soldered the capacitor backwards or something, right? But the smoke stopper will save you. So yeah.
Smoke stopper, and feel free to use a multimeter to check for continuity as well.
Yeah.
That's a good way to kind of reassure yourself. Okay, I know I didn't, bridge any wires here. I don't have any continuity between my positive and my negative.
Yeah.
And then smoke stopper for the win. That can save you a lot of money.
And one more thing too, and this is just I'm definitely a preacher when it comes to this, and I'm always trying to get people to drink the Kool-Aid. Panasonic FM. These things have saved my arse more times than one. A good capacitor. Don't get the cheap capacitors listen, I love Hack RC, but they send a capacitor in the kit that I throw away every time. I throw it away. Here it is right here. Here's the capacitor from, you probably can't see it, but it's the cheapo capacitors. Throw it away. The Panasonic FM, these things are great. They got low ASR. The distance of the wire to the capacitor to the actual flow of the battery, that needs to be short, because I think of it like water goes, what was it saying? Water always follows the shortest path, right? Or the least resistance. So that's what electricity is. So if your capacitor isn't low ESR, or your wires are too long on your capacitor, that electricity will first flow through your flight controller before it goes to the capacitor, and then you don't get the benefits of protection. So using a good capacitor is also another big one too. This one has I've gotten the wires crossed more times than once, and then I plug it in and this blows, but the board was fine. So,
yeah, you want to know what makes me nervous? Makes me really nervous, like way more nervous than anything.
Yeah.
When I have a friend that's like, "Hey man, can you help me solder this up? And you help me do this?"
Yeah.
And now I'm like, "Oh my God, what if I fry? What if I fry his parts? Oh my God, what if I burn up his flight controller? What if I burn up his ESC?"
Yeah. Well,
so that's always
you just tell them, listen, if something goes wrong, this is on, you're trusting me here because it's on you.
Yeah.
Sometimes people will send me a drone to fix, or they want me to build a drone for them, and I'll tell them, listen, you're going to pay up front, and if anything goes wrong, that's sorry. But of course, luckily, I mean, when that's the situation, I triple check. I'll go to bed before plugging it in, come back the next morning fresh, take a look at it, and plug it in.
I know. I have literally checked, a soldering connections 5, 6, 7, 8 times over, just to be like, okay, all right, I think this is ready to be tested, but let me just check it one more time.
Yeah, you will get
and
PTSD.
Always blow it off. Blow off all your parts, because you never know what little bit of solder or bit of metal could have fallen on your flight controller while you're building. Take a can of air and blow off your parts before you power it up. That's a key thing to do that a lot of people forget.
Yeah,
definitely just blow off your flight. And if you don't have any canned air, then use your mouth. Just blow it off. Make sure you don't spit too much, and blow it off.
I got like a Nintendo 64 cartridge.
Yeah.
You put your shirt up to the thing first, so you don't get the spit in there. Yeah.
Yep. And like Double A said, there's always ways that you can volunteer, and help out, and you never know what may come your way by doing that. Yep. Winning stuff in live streams. That's another reason I love doing giveaways, because, anything I get from the channel, anything I get from ad revenue, Patreon, channel memberships, I put right back into the community with giveaways because that's what I want to do. I want to take the revenue that this channel is making and I want to give back and get more people in this hobby. You never know what, a flight controller or a $25 gift card could do for somebody.
Yeah. Well, it might just be the kind of lubrication they need to move into it. Like I remember when I was a kid, my mom was like, "Hey, wake up! I'm tired. I don't want to wake up. We're going to Disneyland. I don't want to get to Disneyland." Like obviously, once I get up and get my head about me, once I get into the yes, I want to be at Disneyland. I kind of feel that way about FPV as well. Get people in the door. Maybe they're like in a bit like Goomba here, a little bit like hesitant. I don't know, but the second that you get them going, the second that their hands start getting into it, you can sit back because they're just going to be flying. They're going to be going.
Exactly. And if I'm working on a build, I'm going to take extra care and make sure that I've checked everything over, and I still get worried. That initial power up always worries me because I'm like, if something's going to happen, it's going to happen right now.
Yeah.
It's going to happen now. But, the more you do it, the more confident you'll get. And you'll learn a lot from yourself. That's what's so great.
Yeah.
You'll learn so much from yourself. You'll learn, okay, this is the time where I don't need to be working on a quadcopter right now.
Yeah.
This is a time where I need to walk away right now. This is a time where I need to go work on a quadcopter because I need to get my head out of something or whatever. Yeah. You learn so much from yourself in this hobby from all of the skills that you acquire. That's what makes it so great, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And then, for us old guys, sure, that's really great. And that can definitely help our lives. But for kids, it's life-changing, it's
excellent, man. Absolutely.
Yeah. All right. We got him.
That's awesome. Ordering that last part, and then take all the time you need, man. Put it out on the desk, look at it.
Yeah. That's great.
Fondle it. Take a couple pictures of it.
Yeah.
Get yourself prepared for when you go to solder.
Yeah.
Practice.
And head over to edrone's Discord, and I'm sure that there's plenty of people over there if you have any questions.
Yeah, and Dr. Quads has a Discord as well, so make sure you check out his Discord and his channel down in the video description. He said, hand them your extra set of goggles and take them for a ride. Absolutely. Sharing is caring, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And that's what's really great. If you have 2 pair of goggles and you want to get someone an FPV, bring them out somewhere, give them goggles and do some flying. Don't fly too crazy if you're good, because you don't make them sick, but just give them a little something, fly up and do a little bit of a dive, and they'll be like, whoa, this is cool. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you don't want to get on there and start flipping and flopping and going upside down too crazy like you're on a ride or something. Yeah. Just take it for a nice little cinematic cruise.
Yeah.
Let them get the concept, and then maybe slowly introduce, like you said, the dive.
Yeah.
Even a nice slow, long power loop.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
The tree surfing, man. Tree surfing is my favorite now. It's so dangerous though, unless you got a giant pole, right?
I know. But that's the adrenaline, right? That's the thrill of I know what I'm doing is risky, but it feels good. It feels real good, right?
Oh yeah. I flew through I went to a mall and I flew through these car windows, and man, that's what I said. FPV helps you manage your stress levels, because my heart's beating, and I just, everyone watching me, I feel like my career is on the line. If I crash into a window, first off, these are expensive cars. Oh my gosh, Second off, that's it for me professionally. If anyone's recording and they put it up on TikTok and then everyone says, look at this idiot crashing into this expensive car. You're like, so the stakes are high. I feel like they're high, but all you have to do is just take a deep breath, arm the quad, do a little bit of a kind of a little maneuver somewhere around to kind of get your butterflies at your stomach. And then once you do it, man, you commit. You just commit to that and just go through it. And you feel like you're almost outside of yourself in those moments, but that teaches you how to manage your stress levels really well. Because I'm a person that, is hyper anxious, let's say, and FPV has really helped me with that a lot.
That's awesome. And I'm so glad to hear that. I'm so glad to hear that. And, it's had such a positive effect on my life as well. I've suffered from, anxiety and depression, and this has helped in so many positive ways. And, I really FPV kind of basically helped me to find, who I really am as a person.
Mhm.
For a long time, I didn't really know who I was, and finding this hobby, it really helped me to learn who I am as a person. And it's just
Yeah.
taken me to so many, positive roads.
Mhm. Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Love the
Yeah.
hobby. That's why I get so upset, when it gets threatened like it is. And that's why we all do. We have
Yeah.
such a love for this hobby. Um, so we just need to stick together because believe me, there's some corporate entities that would love to see us just tear each other apart from
Mhm.
within.
Yeah.
And we don't need to give in to that, guys. We need to stand together.
Mm.
Pilots for pilots. I don't care
Yeah.
if you fly a Mavic. I don't care if you fly a kite. We all have the love of flight. Let's stick together and let's love
Yeah.
each other and build each other up in this community together.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
No matter what you fly. I don't care if you fly the
Yeah.
cheapest quad I've ever seen.
Mhm.
I don't care if you fly the biggest box goggles I've ever seen. I don't care. I think it's great that you're flying. I think it's great
Yeah.
that you're in the hobby by whatever means necessary. And we need to build each other up, not tear each other down.
Absolutely. I feel that, I feel that it's kind of a criticism as me as well. Sometimes you can get so negative in trying to fix the problem that what you said was really important, not to tear each other down. And I think that you probably know what I'm talking about here. It's like, yeah, it our minor squabbles, our minor differences need to be put aside. And that's a criticism as me, just to being honest about that. Sometimes I can get worked up over injustices or when I feel I was slighted, but you know what? That's not important. What's important is we stick together. So thank you.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
absolutely. And
Yeah.
this has been an amazing community. I can't thank you guys enough for all the support that you've shown me, my guests. You guys in the chat has been amazing. You guys have welcomed me in with open arms as well as my guests, and I don't take that lightly. I really appreciate that. The support has been amazing, and make sure you check out Dr. Quads as well because he is passionate about the hobby as well. And I think he's got some awesome contributions and he's bringing some awesome, innovative things to the community that you're going to want to make sure you check out.
I appreciate that. Appreciate that. I hope I can. I'm not always gonna be perfect, and I greatly appreciate when people, give me benefit of the doubt, because yeah, I don't know, I'm a different person in a lot of ways, but I genuinely want to help. I genuinely want to see this hobby grow. So however I can do that,
Yeah,
hell yeah, let's go.
that's it. And that's what it's always going to be about for me. It's just the love of sharing this community with all these amazing people out here. You know, without the people, to me, the hobby wouldn't be half of what it is.
Yeah,
You know.
absolutely.
So, guys, make sure you check out Dr. Quads down in the video description. We're going to get ready to bring it to a close because I'm sure everybody is getting, well, at least on the East Coast, we're getting
Yeah.
close to the 10:30 p.m. So time has been a ticking, but it's been a fantastic stream, and I'm really happy that you came on the stream as a special guest, Dr. Quads. We're very fortunate and happy to have you on the
I'm
stream.
honored to be here. I'm honored to be here.
And we can't wait to see, what you've got coming up. Make sure you check out his channel.
Mm. And oh, by the way, too, all my designs and stuff, I'm gonna be putting up on Thingiverse real soon. They're on the Patreon now, but I've been talking to my Patreons currently and putting everything up on Thingiverse. I currently have this little guy up on Thingiverse right now for free, the little hero. If you want to get
Oh.
someone an FPV, like a kid or something, I gotta say it, self-promotion. This is nothing better, but it's for free, so you don't have to pay me anything. This thing is fantastic. It crashes, 3D prints, so it's super cheap to repair. And my son has
Nice.
crashed this thing hundreds of times at this point and still works. So, yeah,
That's fantastic. What material is that made from?
Oh yeah. So now I got to give a shout out to Polymaker. Polymax from Polymaker. There is nothing better. I have tried so many different filaments. there might be filaments that are as strong as it, but nothing that prints as easily. And that's a big thing because I love 3D printing, but I don't have a lot of time to 3D print and learn all the idiosyncrasies of getting the flow rate and stuff right. This stuff prints like PLA. Well, it is kind of PLA. It's a hybrid, but it is strong. It is strong stuff. I mean, I don't know if you guys have seen my videos of me tossing this stuff around, but it's no joke, man. You throw this stuff as hard as you can on the ground and maybe you just might break it. And so sure, It's not as good as an injection molded plastic, but it's damn near close. Most importantly, though, it's much cheaper and you can make it yourself, you know, if you have a 3D printer. And there's plenty of people that you can hit up to print it for you if you don't. So, yeah.
Well, that's absolutely fantastic, man. Awesome. Thank you so much for sharing tonight.
Awesome. Thanks for having me. This is awesome. It's cool.
Absolutely. Well, we will be staying tuned to seeing what you have coming in the future.
This is the future drone here, by the way. Oh, this is
This
is a new one. 6S.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It looks really cool. And AA put the link to Dr. Quad's channel in the live chat as well, so you guys can make sure you check him out. Got some awesome, innovative designs, and just an awesome member of the community. I'm so happy to have you on the show. And like I tell all my special guests, you know, we'd like to have you back at some point, catch up with you, see how things have been going.
Absolutely. And thanks for having me, edrones. I appreciate it, man.
Absolutely, man. I will see you around for sure, man. And if you're ever in the U.S. and you're near the East Coast, you make sure you hit me up because we're going to rip some packs.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm going home with a broken drone. Absolutely. If I don't, I'll just throw it on the ground at the end of the day.
That's right. We'll break it, but guess what? We will fly, break, repair, repeat, my friend.
Absolutely. Guys,
you have a great rest of your day.
Coming over for my viewership. This guy's awesome. I really thank you for having me today. This is awesome.
I'm happy to have you, man. And you enjoy the rest of your Monday.
I will
in the future there.
Yeah.
You take care now.
See you later, man.
Later. Guys, give a special shout out, special round of applause to Dr. Quads. Awesome special guest. Really happy to have him on the show. And thank you guys so much for your support tonight. Greatly appreciate it. Make sure you check out the links in the description, smash that like button, and click that bell icon so you get notified first when I put out new live streams and new content. Got a fresh video dropping tomorrow. You're not going to want to miss out. 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, ripping the Abandoned Golf and Country Club with my main man, Sepher. Not going to want to miss that out. Going to be live on the channel tomorrow, 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thank you guys all for the awesome community that we have here. I couldn't do it without you, and I really appreciate all the support on the channel. So thank you guys so much. And until next time, guys, edrone out.